He said we're good.
Welcome out to Preston Field. I'm Matt Moon alongside Nathan Kendall as we get you set for a top 25 matchup in the 8-10 varsity top 25. We have the number 12 Park Hill Trojans taking on the number 4 Staley Falcons. Now Staley comes off of a state championship last year, and this year they have fallen one time. They're 6-1 on the season, and they're looking to make an upset here tonight and take down the Trojans here on senior night. The Trojans on the other side are 5-2. They started off 0-2 on the season and have rattled off 5 straight wins and are looking to make this a special season, and a win over the Staley Falcons tonight would absolutely do that. Now, the last time these two teams met was in 2015 when Park Hill won 27-16. It being senior night, that's something to note, as the seniors that are here tonight would have only been freshmen during that game, so really no one probably saw any sort of meaningful playing time in that game. So we're looking at some big-time offense, some big-time defense tonight. We've seen Park Hill all season, and that defensive front for Park Hill has been absolutely electric, and we'll see tonight what they can do against this Staley offense.
Yeah, exactly. That's Staley really ground-oriented, as we'll get into here in just a few minutes. It'll be interesting to see with that Park Hill front seven that they've got with their 3 down linemen. I mean, especially with a couple kids that they're not seniors. A couple juniors with Johnny Wilson and James Gore, and then, of course, behind them, they've got the tackling machine in Hayden Wallace with 92 tackles on the season right behind them.
This will definitely be a game to watch. It's one of the best games in the city, one of the best games on the Missouri State side. It's a little soggy tonight. We got a little bit of a mist coming down right now, and it's in the mid-40s, so we're looking at a chilly night. But last week we were talking about it being a little unseasonably warm. This week it's football weather, especially for October, Missouri. And now we're just waiting on the coin toss here as the captains have come to the center of the field. It looks like Coach Josh Hood and Coach Phil Light have, said their respective piece and are now walking away from the field. And we're getting ready for the officials to throw the coin into the air. Again, Staley comes in the game 6-1 on the year. Their only loss of the season, they lost to Lee Summit West 21-17. Also losing to that same Lee Summit West team this year was Park Hill in week 1. But after that loss, they would drop one more and then have not lost since, as they rattled off 5 straight wins, including a 35-0 win over Blue Springs South last week. So it looks like Park Hill has won the toss. They're going to defer to the second half, which means you'll have that defense on the field first for the Trojans.
And something to mention right quick, Park Hill, like you said, Liberty lost, their heartbreaking loss in week 2 that set them up for this 5-game winning streak. Something that's kind of to keep an eye on with the district standings, they're facing a rematch with Liberty, quite possibly. If the season ended last week, they would be playing Liberty in the first week of the district playoffs, which, yes, we got a couple of weeks still to go. This game awfully big for Park Hill, because you take a loss here, you've got some issues, because a loss to a Class 5 school hurts a Class 6. Still, Missouri's playoff system is a little flawed, and so something like this, even a loss, would benefit Staley while there's flag down.
And I think they're going to say that the Staley sidelines came too far out, and it looks like there's a flag. They're talking it over right now in the middle of the field. That's a little bit weird, but tonight's game is a big one, and both of these teams are fired up to get this game underway. And we'll see exactly what the officials call.
I would just say sideline warning, nothing that's going to penalize them for doing that, but it looks like they're not assessing anything real big. As it looks like Park Hill's got their regular kicker back. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so offsetting unsportsmanlike penalties, it looks like what was called.
Well, that's good to know. And it looks like, yes, like you said, Trojans have their kicker, senior Jackson Austin, the 6'4 senior, is going to tee it up at the 40-yard line. Back deep to return for the Falcons is Koa Grace. Also, it looks like Ramon Shelton. It's going to be a high arching kick at the 35. It's going to be fair caught right there. Make that to the 34. Running up to make the grab was Jacob Brick, the 5'8 sophomore. And now here we go. Strength versus strength. The offensive firepower of Staley versus the staunch defense of the Trojans. And leading Staley onto the field is going to be Loa Grace. So far this year, he's completing passes at about 58%. He has 4 touchdowns on the season. But this is really a grounded out offense. They have a great running back. And their running back is Jaden Moss. And right now he's lined up in the slot. Loa Grace stands in the backfield. Moss goes in motion from right to left. And now comes back the other way. It's going to be a fake handoff. It's going to be kept by Loa. He's going to be taken down. Dropped at the 35-yard line. Coming up to make the tackle is Hayden Wallace. Wallace still has the club on his hand. It keeps getting bigger every week, but able to make the stop there for only a 2-yard gain and brings up 2nd and 8.
Tonight it's red. It's always been white, but tonight he's gone with the red tape.
Receiver goes in motion. Grace going to drop back to pass. Feeling the pressure. He's going to throw downfield. He finds his wide open receiver at the 50. He's to the 45. Cuts inside. He's going to be taken down by a host of Trojan defenders. He got all the way to the 43-yard line of the Trojans. Making that grab was Mark Robinson. He is the leading receiver on the year. Had 22 catches coming into the season. Was catching it at about a 13.6 yard per reception. So he's going to be someone to watch tonight. Loa Grace now lined up in the shotgun. Behind him is Moss.
I'm very glad to see Jaden Moss out there. Because a few weeks ago when they played Park Hill South, that's when we saw him get hurt.
Hand off to Moss. He's going to break right through the tackle at 40, and he's lit up and dropped. Coming up to make the hit was Javion Gathright, but there's a flag on the play. That was a hard hit, but I don't know. This might be a little bit of overreaction by the officials. They are going to call a personal foul, though.
On Staley. Okay.
Oh, no, they're going to call targeting on Gathright. That is absolutely ridiculous, as he definitely hit him with his shoulder. And it's going to march it deeper into Trojan territory. And so right now, thanks to the penalties and a couple good plays, Staley has driven it down to the 22-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 22. 11:09 remaining here in the first quarter. This is Staley's first drive of the ball game. Grace going to roll out to his right. Looking down the field, going to throw. Trying to find Robinson. It's incomplete. Little high for him. In on the coverage for the Trojans is Donovan Bustamante, the 5'9 senior.
That's somebody we really haven't talked about a whole lot on this Park Hill defense. Donovan Bustamante quietly having himself a very good season with 27 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and the 1 interception.
Grace again in the shotgun. Robinson going to go in motion here to the right side. Grace going to do the quarterback keeper. He's going to be ripped down. James Gore comes up with the tackle, but there's a flag on the play. He was dropped for a loss. We'll see exactly what the official calls. They're going to call a holding on the offense, and that's going to move him back. Big thing to watch here tonight. James Gore, he was on that state championship team for Staley and moved out of Staley's district in the offseason as now the nose tackle for Park Hill. So something to watch here tonight as he's playing against some of his former teammates.
Yeah, because last year I looked up the stats. It's not like he didn't play for him either. I mean, it would make a little bit more sense. You move, you didn't play or something. But no, last year he was on the field quite a bit.
Moss with the quick throw, and he hits his intended receiver. Making that grab was Blake Prophet, the 6'4 senior. He was hit and was able to bounce for another yard down inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. So bring up a second. Actually, sorry, that will bring up a 3rd and 7, ball at the 19. Grace barks at the signal, now going to drop back to pass. He's going to throw the quick slant again. This time he has his wide open receiver at the 15 inside to the 13-yard line. Making that grab was Dalton Nugent, the 6'5 senior. And it's going to be 1st and goal now for Staley as they continue to march deeper and deeper into Trojan territory. And that Trojan defense, who's been so stiff throughout the season right now, having some trouble here. In motion goes Shelton. Grace takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. No, he's going to throw it to the flat. It's going to be incomplete. Intended receiver was Blake Prophet. Not able to make the grab, and now bring up 2nd and goal from the 8.
Seeing a really good drive, good mix of run and pass here from Staley. They're showing that quarterback Loa Grace, he can throw. I mean, like you said, 58% passing, but only the 4 touchdown passes on the year.
So 3 wide receivers are going to set up to the far side. No wide receivers here to the near. In motion now is going to be Moss, and Grace is going to keep. He's going to run up the middle. He's going to be close to the touchdown. We're going to see exactly where they're going to spot him at the 1-yard line. It looked like he might have gotten in. They're going to say he stopped short, so we'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 1. 9:50 remaining here in the first quarter, here on this first drive of the ball game. Grace quickly gets the offense back up on the line. Moss is going to stand next to him. He's going to hand it off to Moss. Moss goes straight ahead, and he's going to be stopped. The defensive holds for Park Hill as they stop Moss from getting into the end zone. Multiple defenders in on the stop. It looked like Johnny Wilson was the first one to meet him, as they'll bring up 4th and goal at the 1. And now a big decision here for Coach Light. Does he go for a field goal, or does he bring his offense out and try to punch this one in?
If I was them, I'd definitely think about going a handoff to your big fullback, Shannon Stewart, the 5'11", 210-pound, who's right next to Grace in the pistol set.
Grace now going to throw it to the flat. He has his, no, he falls. He had his intended receiver, and he falls short of the touchdown. He had Blake Prophet for a touchdown. He slipped at the 1, and it's going to be Park Hill ball as the Park Hill defense holds. And so Park Hill will take over deep in their own territory inside the 1-yard line. And here comes Ryan Graves. Ryan Graves so far on this season, 82 of 133 for 62% completion percentage. He's thrown for over 1,000 yards at 1,070. He has 12 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Also for Ryan Graves, he is the leading rusher for Park Hill. He has 75 rushes for 491 yards at a 6.5 yards per carry clip, and he has 3 touchdowns on the ground.
Now this is a spot if you're Park Hill. You definitely don't want to move back at all.
Graves trying to get the Staley defense to jump. Not going to get anyone to bite that time. Has 2 wide receivers in the near side, 2 to the far. Graves now tells Gathright what's going on, hands it off to Gathright. Gathright pushes forward, trying to get out of the end zone. He is going to be able to sort of submarine just a little bit past the first wave of tacklers and gets out to about the 2-yard line. He'll bring up a 2nd and 9, ball at the 2.
Big couple plays here for Park Hill for sure. 2nd down and 8. They need to get out of this spot. If they don't pick up first down, it's going to be awful difficult to punt.
They're going to officially spot it at the 3-yard line. So they'll bring up 2nd and 8, ball at the 3-yard line. This is the first drive of the game for the Trojans. Graves takes the snap, going to drop back to pass, throws a quick slant. He has his intended receiver. It's Joe Webb. He gets up to the 9-yard line. A gain there of 6 yards on 2nd and 8 will bring up a 3rd and 2. A good quick pass. And something we've seen from Park Hill throughout the year, when they've been able to get their playmakers in space, they're able to make things happen. And you're going to wonder if they're going to be able to do this a little bit quicker this time, as last week it took them quite a while to get that going. Graves is going to run around the left side. He finds an open hole. He dives under the tacklers and falls to the ground, but he's going to have enough for the first down, gets up to the 14-yard line. And just like that, it's 1st and 10, ball at the 14. 7:42 remaining here in the first quarter.
Staley had 2 defenders there. Graves showed his athleticism to get just up and over the tacklers to pick up that first down.
1 wide receiver split out to the far side, 2 to the near. Graves barking out the signals with Gathright standing to his right. In motion goes Knoll. Graves going to drop back to pass. He's going to throw to Knoll in the flat. Knoll is very dangerous. He's to the 20. He gets around 1 defender to the 25. He's at the 30 and gets cooked up there. Dives out to the 34-yard line. And again, it's going to be another first down. But Jalen Knoll, you don't want to let him get open in space. And he takes it all the way to the 34-yard line. 1st and 10, Trojans. Trojans quickly up on the ball. Knoll gets the signal, has 3 wide receivers here to the near side this time. Now they're going to slow it down a little bit. They look over to the sideline, get the call. Now Graves barking out the signal. Gathright this time standing to the left of Graves. Graves takes the snap, going to hand it off to Gathright. No, he's going to pull it, he's going to throw. Finds Nolan flat. Knowles at the 30. He's trying to dodge 1 defender. He loses 3 yards back to the 31. Great job that time keeping him in front of him by Landon Donaldson. The free safety came up to make the stop. He'll bring up a 2nd and 13 at the 31. 6:40 remaining here in the first quarter. No score. This is the first drive of the ball game for the Trojans. After a big 4th down stop at the 1-yard line. Throw to the flat, it's Peyton Stanfield. Stanfield trying to get up. He might have gotten back to the 34-yard line to bring up a 3rd and 10, but was not able to get out of the tackle. Coming up to make the stop there was Dominique Lyons, the 6'1 junior.
It's not a situation you want to be in if you're Park Hill. 3rd and 10. You're not really a big downfield passing team.
Graves takes the snap. Drops back to pass. He's feeling some pressure, and he's going to be sacked. Ripped back down at the 26-yard line. In to make the stop was Rocco Giglio, the outside linebacker. He was able to get the sack, and so out will come the punt team. And Colby Henriksen, the senior punter. And back deep to return is Koa Grace and Jacob Brick. Henriksen gets off a wobbly punt. It's going to be taken at the 39 by Brick. He's at the 45 to the 50. He has a blocker at the front at the 40 and pushed out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Great return by Brick. And that sets Staley up in great field position. They sit in the Trojans in as they're at the 35-yard line of the Trojans with 5:12 remaining here in the first quarter.
Yeah, big return there. About a net punt of maybe just a couple of yards there for Park Hill. That's one that you really needed to pin him back. Missed tackle at the beginning of that return really came back to bite him on that first, right there on that punt.
So out comes Loa Grace and the offense once again. Jaden Moss stands sort of to the left of Grace. Grace going to fake the handoff, now going to throw it, and it's behind his intended receiver, intended for Blake Profit. Looked like he might have gotten hit on the elbow when trying to throw there, not able to get it out there. They'll bring up 2nd and 10, ball at the 35-yard line.
Lots of pressure off his face side coming from Loa Grace's right side there.
Loa now barking out the signal, telling the line exactly what the play call is. Loa now looks over the sideline. 10 seconds on the play clock. 3 wide receivers to the far side. Now Grace takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Moss. Moss has some running room. He's trying to get to the flat, and Gathright shoves him out of bounds for only what looks like maybe a 2-yard gain on the play. It looked like he would have had a lot more if he would have just kept going straight. Gathright came over and shoved him out of bounds. He'll bring up 2nd and 9, ball at the 34.
Yeah, really, really good play by Javion Gathright. Took the stiff arm and just shoved.
Grace drops back to pass, rolls to his right. He's now going to throw to the left. It's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Moss, and he overthrows his intended receiver. And so he'll bring up 4th and 9 at the 34. And now a decision for Coach Light. Do you go for it here, or do you bring out the punting team and try to pin them deep? Usually in high school, maybe a 20-yard punt here.
Yeah, that last play though, it was perfectly designed by Coach Light. A rollout throwback screen. Jaden Moss was by himself, had a blocker in front of him, was probably going to score. Just overthrew him just a little bit because of the pressure that the Park Hill defense put on him.
Offense stays on the field. Grace back to pass. He's going to throw deep. He's looking for Robinson. Bustamante on the coverage, and he tips it away. Bustamante on senior night comes up with the big defensive play, tipping the ball away from Mark Robinson, and it will be a turnover on downs. 1st and 10, Park Hill at their own 34-yard line with 4:50 remaining here in the first quarter.
It was a fantastic play there by Donovan Bustamante. Went up. He was face guarding perfectly, just played Mark Robinson as he went up to try to make the catch and just got his arm in there and batted it away. And Park Hill really only lost a yard after that punt.
Yeah, that was a great job by that Park Hill defense getting that stop there on those 4 downs, only losing 1 yard. Graves takes the handoff. He's going to hand off to Gathright. He tries the middle of the field, might have gotten to the 35 before he's taken down there. A gain of 1 yard on first down will bring up 2nd and 9 with the ball spotted at the 35.
We saw that Park Hill rushing attack get going last week with Javion Gathright. I'm interested to see if they can continue to be able to run the football this week.
Again, a handoff to Gathright. Gathright again trying the middle. He's pushing forward. Going to be close to the 40. Depends on the spot. They're going to say he got to the 39-yard line, so a gain of 4 yards on the play will bring up second, make that 3rd and 5.
It looks like Davis Supas, wide receiver, just sprinted off the field, right arm hanging, just hanging there. He wasn't really moving it, so it looked a lot like a shoulder separation possibly.
Evan Sambursky will check into the ball game for Supas as Graves looks over to the sideline to get the call from the offensive coordinator. Graves is going to move Gathright to his right side and now takes the snap. Graves back to pass. He's going to run. He's feeling some pressure. He's to the 40. He's to the 50 after breaking the tackle to the 45. Gets inside the 45. A big first down. Finally taken down there by Dominique Lyons, but not before picking up a first down for the Trojans into Staley Falcon territory.
Something you can't lose contained there if you're the Staley defensive line. You got to keep Graves in the pocket. He's the type of dual threat quarterback that can do a little bit of both.
Graves hands off to Gathright. He finds a hole this time up to the 35-yard line. A pickup of 8 yards on first down. It'll bring up 2nd and 2. 3:10 remaining here in the first quarter. And the Trojans are driving after the Trojans defense has had to come up big 2 drives in a row on 4th down, making 4th down stops to get his team back the ball. Graves stands in the shotgun. Gathright stands to his right. In motion now goes Knoll. It's going to be a fake toss to Knoll. Graves is now going to throw it deep. He has his intended receiver and overthrows Stanfield. Stanfield not able to make the grab, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 at the 35, but a great call there by Coach Hood, trying to go deep on 2nd down, trying to catch the Staley defense napping, and he had a step on his man, just was not able to make the connection.
And like I just mentioned it the last drive, Park Hill not really a team that tries to take those deep shots. They set that one up perfectly, had the motion going with Newell, and was just this close to having a touchdown.
Graves is going to keep it. He tries the outside. He's going to dive forward, gets up to the 31-yard line, which should be enough for another Trojan first down. Ryan Graves on the season coming into tonight's ball game had rushed for 491 yards at a 6.5 yards per carry. He was leading the team in rushing. Graves is going to keep it. He's going to try the right side, and this time he's going to be taken down by multiple Falcons. In on the stop was Antoine Wilkes. Excuse me, no, that was Nick Wright, the 6'4 junior, who makes the tackle as he gets down to the 28-yard line. He'll bring up 2nd and 7 from the 28.
It's kind of the opposite type of offense for Park Hill this year. Last year was a lot of throw the ball, get the ball into the hands of playmakers on the outside. This year you're seeing a lot more quarterback running game.
A handoff to Gathright. Gathright gets ripped down, might have gained a couple yards up to the 26-yard line. And they're going to actually say, yes, the nose of the football at the 26. It will bring up a 3rd and 5 now from the 26. 1:40 remaining here in the first quarter. This has been a great first quarter so far. Both teams really throwing punches, but not able to land any knockout punches just yet. 2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. And Graves is going to throw it to the flat, and it's tipped. Coming up to make the tip was Nick Wright, the 6'4 DN. He tipped the ball. He had Suppus in the flat, was not able to connect with him. And so now a 4th down decision here. Now we do know that Jackson Austin is back, the 6'4 senior kicker, but they're obviously not going to trust him coming off of that injury that he's had all year. Graves looks over to the sideline. 7 seconds on the play clock. Now going to call the signal. He has 2 wide receivers on the near side. Graves drops back to pass. He has some room to run. He's going to throw down the middle of the field, and it's knocked away. He had Jalen Knoll for the first down, but the ball is knocked away. Coming up to make the stop was Jake Wilson, the 6'1 senior strong safety. And that's a turnover on down. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line for the Falcons.
4 drives, 3 stops on 4th down and a punt. This is exactly as advertised defensively. 2 of the better defenses probably in the Kansas City area. And with, for sure, Park Hill, probably one of the best defenses in Class 6 in the whole state of Missouri.
And this has been a fun one so far. 1:17 remaining here in the first quarter. We thank you for watching here on 810varsity.com. Grace hands off to Moss. Moss finds the hole. He might have gained a yard to the 27 before he is taken down. In on the stop was James Gore, who stopped him quickly and ripped him down. He'll bring up 2nd and 9 from the 26. Quickly, Staley gets back up on the ball. Grace looks over the sideline to get the call as there's now 2 wide receivers to the far side. 1 guy stands in the slot. And Grace is going to hand it off to Moss. Moss again going to try the middle, and Gore and Wallace meet him there. And now a flag comes down late. And the refs are not going to put up with anything, it looks like, tonight, as they're going to call personal foul, and that's going to be on Wallace and Gore as they threw Moss down to the ground after the whistle had blown. And so a 15-yard penalty is going to give Staley a first down as the ball will be marched out to the 42-yard line.
And Coach Hood not real thrilled about that. It was just, not a whole lot they could really do. It's just, I don't know.
Trying to finish off a tackle. In motion will go Robinson from left to right. Robinson now in the flat. Grace feeling some pressure from the backside, and he's going to be ripped down. Coming over from the DN spot to make the stop is Jameel Burns, the DN/linebacker, 6'4", 215 junior. and he has a promising future as well as Gore and Wilson.
It's just another junior on that defensive line, and it appears the flag is down as well.
Holding on the offense, so some of that yardage that they gave up on the personal foul is going to be pulled back here after the great job by Jameel Burns coming from behind to take down Grace, stopping him for a 1-yard gain as the ball is going to be spotted back at the 34-yard line.
And Grace there, he's not the fleetest of foot for a quarterback there, the 6'2 senior, but he's shown tonight so far that he can run a little bit. He's not their running quarterback, you can say. They've got another quarterback that'll go in short yardage situations with backup Dawson Parks.
So that looks like that's going to be the last play of the first quarter as it's 2nd and 19, ball at the 33. We'll take a quick timeout. No score here on 810varsity.com.
Looking to buy or sell a home in Platte County or the Northland? The Ken Smith team of Keller Williams has been a trusted realtor for more than a decade for both buyers and sellers of residential and commercial properties. Although a native of Clay County, Ken has been a Platte County citizen since 1996 and is licensed in both Missouri and Kansas. The Ken Smith team is about much more than real estate. With a focus on education and communication, a fully documented marketing strategy, and a 30-day listing period on all homes. The Ken Smith team, about your life and your dreams, focused on you. Contact Ken Smith anytime at 816-304-7580 or visit online at moveupwithken.com. That's 816-304-7580 and move up with Ken.
No score here after 1 quarter of play as both Park Hill and Staley are bringing the defense tonight. 2nd and 19, ball at the 33-yard line. It's going to be a handoff to Moss. Moss tries the left side. He's going to be taken down as he gets up to the 39-yard line. A gain of 6 yards there on the play. Excuse me, that was Jaden Moss on the carry as they bring in their other running back now, Koa Grace, the brother of the quarterback, Loa Grace. Koa stands behind Loa in the shotgun. It's going to be a throw over the middle. It's going to be incomplete. He tried to get the ball to Corbin Peters, unable to make the grab at the 46-yard line, and so will bring up now 3rd and very long.
It's just one of those timing throws there, and it was just a little bit out in front, and if that ball just happens to get tipped, that ball flips up in the air. That's going the other way for Park Hill and quite possibly going back for a touchdown.
3rd and 14, ball at the 28-yard line. Fake handoff. Loa Grace now going to drop back to pass. He throws it deep. He has Robinson, and then the ball is tipped away again. And it's Donovan Bustamante on senior night once again, knocking the ball away. And it brings up 4th down, and out will come the punt team for the Falcons.
That's somebody there, Donovan Bustamante, who come on, like I just mentioned, he's come on here later in the season. That's somebody that I think he's got a future at the next level.
So Jake Wilson now will punt for the Falcons. Back deep to return is Knoll for the Trojans, and it's going to be a high punt taken by Knoll at the 32. He's going to fair catch that, and actually might be about the 32.5-yard line, depending on the spot. No, they're going to go ahead and spot it right at the 32. So 1st and 10, ball at the 32-yard line is where the Trojans will take over with 11:14 remaining here in the first half.
Who's going to budge first defensively? That's your question, and right about now here, gone through a full quarter and then right about a minute. Who's gonna budge? Who's gonna have that big play?
Well, one thing we haven't seen yet out of the Trojans is trying to work the flats a little bit more. That was something that they've seen a lot of success in, is getting the ball in the flats to their playmakers and letting them make a play. Handoff this time is going to be to Joe Webb, and he gets 4 or 5 yards up to the 36-yard line. So we'll bring up 2nd and 6, ball at the 36. Gain of 4 by Webb on the sweep. Graves takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. He has his running back. That's Corey Bradford. He gets up to the 40-yard line. Good run there by Bradford, who last week struggled on his 1 carry and didn't see a lot of action. Gets 4 yards on that and brings up 3rd and 1.
Yeah, last week I believe he finished the game with 1 carry for minus a yard last week.
And that's been the thing about Corey Bradford. As a senior, he's had a tough season trying to get things going. Noel goes in motion, a handoff to Bradford. Bradford goes straight ahead. It's going to depend on the spot. It looked like he might have had enough, but no, they're going to say he got stopped at the 41. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down, and now a decision by Coach Hood. If he goes for it, if he trusts his defense to get a stop at the 41-yard line if they don't get this.
Which, one more thing to note on Corey Bradford, I believe he committed to play baseball somewhere just a couple days ago. I can't quite remember which school it was, but he did commit to play baseball at the next level. So he's not a football player by trade.
It looks like they're going to pooch punt it with Graves. Graves quickly gets it away, which that was lucky as he had guys running up on him. The ball's going to take a Park Hill bounce and roll to the 33-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10. Staley at their own 33 after the pooch punt by Graves on 4th and 1. And so neither team really wanting to give up anything right now as both defenses have really come to play here in the first half. 9:31 remaining here in the first half. No score as both teams have just not been able to get anything going on offense.
It's been kind of what we're all expecting coming into this game. One of the best teams, I think number 2 team in Class 5, and then a team that's just probably one of the hottest teams in Class 6 right now.
Grace is going to keep this one. He dives forward and gets to the 40-yard line. He got tripped up by Cole Gagne, but he was able to keep his feet just a little bit longer, and actually they're going to give him up to the 41, so a gain of 7 yards on the play. They'll bring up 2nd and 3. In motion goes Moss, and Grace is going to keep it again. This time he's going to run forwards. He's at the 45, taken down at the 49-yard line. So right now, Loa Grace showing he has some running ability. And Javion Gathright able to make the stop. But Loa Grace right now being the difference maker on the ground. Grace looks over to the sideline. He has 2 backs joining him in the backfield. 10 seconds on the play clock as Grace calls out the signal. In motion will go his tight end. And he'll take the snap. He's going to hand it off to Moss, and he's going to be dropped in the backfield. Hayden Wallace shot the gap and dropped him back at the 46-yard line. Poor spot there. I thought Wallace got him well past the 45. They're going to say it dropped him at the 46. So it'll be a loss of 3 yards on the play. He'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Missed block assignment in the middle. Wallace came on a blitz, and nobody even put a finger on him.
Grace dropping back to pass, throws over the middle, tried to find his intended receiver, Raymond Shelton, not able to make the grab. He would have had enough for a 1st down. Instead, it's now 3rd and 12 at the 46. .803 remaining here in the first half. 3rd and 12 as the Falcons get the call. 2 wide receivers to the near side. 1 stands alone on the far side. In motion now from left to right goes the H-back. It's going to be a fake handoff. There's pressure coming. It's going to be a shot to Shelton, who makes the grab, gets up to the 49 of the Trojans, but that will bring up 4th and 9, make that 4th and 8, and out will come the punting unit for the Falcons once again. Jake Wilson will come on to punt. Jalen Knoll back deep to return for the Trojans.
Very well read play there. That Park Hill defense looked like there was going to be a few more yards to that punt.
So they shift into a formation where they got 3 deep on one end, 3 deep on the other. Now you just have to decide whether you're going to cover it. No, they're going to shift back, trying to see if they could catch the defense snapping maybe. And there's going to be a delay of game penalty now. No, they're going to call a timeout. Looks like Staley got a quick timeout. We'll go ahead and take one with them. No score here on A10varsity.com.
It's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire. When the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Briar Payne Mead Insurance in Kansas City today at bpminsurance.com or call 913-402-9576. That's 913-402-9576 and ask about Auto Owners Insurance today.
No score here with 7:15 remaining between the number 12 Park Hill Trojans and the number 4 Staley Falcons in this week's 8-10 varsity top 25 poll. Matt Moon alongside Nathan Kendall bringing you the call here tonight. Staley's now going to shift once again into the punting formation. Wilson going to run up on it. He's going to punt. This is a high spiraling punt. Good punt. And is going to drive Jalen Knoll to the 15-yard line. And that's where the Trojans will take over with 7:09 remaining here in the first half. And we'll see if this Trojan offense can get anything going. We really haven't seen Ryan Graves do too much on the ground. That's really been where he's been effective this year. He's thrown for over 1,000 yards, and he's also rushed for almost 500. And so you saw Loa Grace on the last drive get something going with his feet. Got to wonder if maybe Ryan Graves will try to get something going with his feet on this drive.
You're really on offense for Park Hill. You just got to find something and get some chunk plays.
Graves hands it off. He's going to hand it off to Gaswright. Gaswright goes straight ahead. Is going to have enough for a first down. Rumbles ahead for 11 yards. Up to the 26-yard line, and that's going to be enough for a Trojan first down. 7:01 remaining here in the first quarter, in the first half. Quickly up on the ball go the Trojans. Again, a handoff to Gaswright. Gaswright trying the left-hand side, and he's going to be stopped. Looks like might have been a loss of a yard back to the 25-yard line.
For a split second there, it looked like Gaswright got it, and then was like kind of losing the football, so he had to stop and try to gather the ball back in.
This Staley defense has been solid so far in this ball game. Graves again going to hand it off to Gaswright. Gaswright finds a hole. He cuts past one defender and gets up to the 34-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 8 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 2 now for the Trojans.
It looks like it's done raining. Looks like it's pretty clear out there now. It's just kind of cold night.
Bunch formation to the right-hand side here. Graves is going to run that way. He dives forward and should have enough for a first down. Just got it, too. Looks like several Staley defenders. Leading the defense was Jake Wilson, the strong safety, to make the stop. But it will not be enough, as it will be enough for a first down as the ball sits 1st and 10 at the 36. So Graves stands in the backfield. Gaswright stands just behind him. Graves takes the snap, going to throw it quickly. He has Stanfield, and he's going to be ripped down. Might have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Coming up to make the stop, though, was Rocco Giglio, the outside linebacker. He read that perfectly and made the stop for the Falcons. 5:26 remaining here in the first half. No score. Been a defensive battle so far. In motion goes Knoll. It's going to be a handoff to Gaswright. Gaswright trying to get past that first wave of defenders, and he's going to be stopped right at the line too. So no gain It'll bring up 3rd and 10 as they're trying the middle of this Falcons defense, and so far that middle of the Falcons defense is having none of it as big Alex Patillo, the 6'2 junior, made the stop on that last play. So 2 wide receivers split out to the far side, 1 to the near. Graves stands in the shotgun. Now Bart's
very
on signal.
disciplined Staley there. We saw last week Blue Spring South jump on that initial clap, jump 3 or 4 times. Tonight, nothing so far.
Looks like an audible with 6 seconds remaining on the play clock. Graves takes the snap. Pressure coming. Gathright was able to pick up the first blitz, but the second line of defenders came and made the stop. A loss of a yard there on 3rd down. Brings up 4th and 11, and out will come the punt team. Making that stop was Rocco Giglio, who came up to keep Graves from being able to pick up any yardage. And so Brick and Grace are back deep to return for the Falcons. Henriksen to punt. Henriksen gets this one away. This one's a line drive punt. Mikey Miles is going to follow it as it bounces at the 25 and down to the 21-yard line, and that's where Staley will take over with 3:47 remaining here in the first half. A 44-yard punt by Colby Henriksen. And now will be 1st and 10 Staley.
And when you just said the time left in the first half, I was just like, what? I was just like, no. This half has been just, I mean, with no scoring and nothing like that. It's probably one of the only games in this area that has no score at all.
Well, when you have 2 defenses that have been playing as well as they have the past few weeks, and now you combine and have them both on the field at the same time, you're looking at something special. Moss has the carry. He gets up to the 29-yard line. He's going to be tripped up, taken down. Coming up to make that stop was Deshaun Powell, but not before Moss picks up 8 yards up to the 29 and brings up 2nd and 2. So Grace looks over to the sideline. Stewart now lines up at wide receiver. He's playing more of an H-back role right now, and he slides into that H-back. A fake handoff by Grace. Grace has pressure coming up. He eludes both tacklers, and then he's taken down. Coming up to make the stop is Johnny Wilson. He was able to get away from the blitzer first, but eventually Johnny Wilson cleaned him up for the sack. It's going to be a loss back to the 27. A loss of 1 yard will bring up 3rd and 3 here with 2:47 remaining in the first half.
Looks like Seth Garrison came untouched around the edge and just couldn't get a hold of Grace on that play. As we do see, here's the change at quarterback here on this 3rd and short.
In comes Dawson Parks. He has 45 rushes for 240 yards on the season. He is the running quarterback. In motion goes Shelton. It's going to be a handoff to Moss. Moss is going to go straight ahead to the 35-yard line. It's going to be enough for a Falcon first down as they're moving the chains here with 2:22 remaining. And now here comes Loa Grace back onto the field for Parks. Koa Grace will join him in the backfield. Shelton and Robinson line up to the near side. Shelton now goes in motion to the far side. Loa takes the handoff. He's going to pass it off to Koa Grace, and Koa Grace is hit and taken down. He ran right into James Gore. Also in on the stop was Jameel Burns. It's going to be a loss of 1 yard on the play. He'll bring up 2nd and 11, back to the 35. Loa Grace gets the call from the sideline. Moss now joins him in the backfield, standing directly behind him. Grace drops back to pass. Here comes the pressure, and he's going to throw and gets hit at the same time. It's going to be picked off. It's picked off at the 40-yard line. Coming up to make that grab is Donovan Bustamante. Actually, there's people going crazy right now. Looks like Loa Grace is hurt on the field, and picking up that was actually Carter Gosley coming up to get the interception. And I think Loa Grace might have gotten hit as a defender was around his legs trying to take him down while he was throwing the football. And we're going to have to take a timeout. 1:22 remaining here in the first half. No score here on A10varsity.com.
Hey, pizza in the Northland. Don't look any farther than Stone Canyon Pizza in Parkville. Locally owned and operated since 1995, Stone Canyon's pizzas are made to order from the freshest ingredients. Visit either location for lunch or an enjoyable evening in downtown Parkville or the Zona Rosa location across from Barnes & Noble. And of course, visit anytime at StoneCanyonPizza.com. Stone Canyon Pizza, a fixture in Parkville and proud supporter of Park Hill and Park Hill South athletics.
Platte Valley Bank has been a fixture for Northland's banking needs with locations throughout the Northland. Liberty, Platte City, Parkville, Smithville, Berry Road, and more. In fact, Platte Valley Bank was recently named one of the 5 strongest mid-sized banks in Kansas City in 2014 by the Kansas City Business Journal. Try our new mobile deposit options on our new banking app. For more information on locations, apps, loans, and more, visit one of our locations or online at PlatteValleyBank.com. Platte Valley Bank, proudly supporting high school athletics in the Northland. Visit anytime at PlatteValleyBank.com. Member FDIC.
Did you know there are tutors available to help boost students' potential and help them shine on college entrance exams? That's right. With College Tutors, students are matched with tutors that fit their unique learning styles and educational needs. Flexible and focused, the College Tutors Learning Center has the resources necessary to improve testing scores. Contact College Tutors for a trained tutor today and excel when it matters most. Call 816-256-5907 or visit collegetutors.com.
Chiefs checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs checking from Community America.
1:22 remaining here in the first half as Loa Grace is still on the field. It looks like medical personnel have come out, and it looks like has to do something with one of his legs. Didn't really see it as he had thrown the ball down the field and where Carter Gosley picked it off for the Trojans. But looked like he might have had his cleat caught or got hit low, and you never like to see that happen, especially with how Loa Grace was playing here tonight for the Staley Falcons. And we do have no score at this moment for Park Hill and Staley, but there is a group of people attending to Loa, and we hope that it's nothing too serious. And we're not showing this right now because they're really working to try to get him set up.
I mean, this is always hard. I know there's been more of these happening in some of the games we've had on our air this year. They've had a few over on the Kansas side, so of course it's always hard to see something like this. Yeah, and then I mean just thoughts and prayers with Loa Grace, and then of course even his younger brother Koa Grace, who's a running back for Staley here too. That's, I mean, if he leaves in an ambulance, that hurts, and really for the whole Staley sideline, it just everything is shot.
Yeah.
all your good feelings, and really probably both sides you feel like that. Seeing a kid get possibly carted off the field with a injury like that, headed to a hospital, it's hard, quite possibly. But hopefully it's nothing that's going to be like that.
And it looks like some of the Grace family has now made its way onto the field to come check on him as well. Again, this game has been crazy, and we're going to go ahead and take another timeout. No score here on 810varsity.com.
Looking to buy or sell a home in Platte County or the Northland? The Ken Smith team of Keller Williams has been a trusted realtor for more than a decade for both buyers and sellers of residential and commercial properties. Although a native of Clay County, Ken has been a Platte County citizen since 1996 and is licensed in both Missouri and Kansas. The Ken Smith team is about much more than real estate. With a focus on education and communication, a fully documented marketing strategy, and a 30-day listing period on all homes. The Ken Smith team, about your life and your dreams, focused on you. Contact Ken Smith anytime at 816-304-7580 or visit online at moveupwithken.com. That's 816-304-7580 and move up with Ken.
Chiefs checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs checking from Community America.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on and on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Briar Payne Mead Insurance in Kansas City today at bpminsurance.com or call 913-402-9576. That's 913-402-9576 and ask about Auto Owners Insurance today.
Platte Valley Bank has been a fixture for Northland's banking needs with locations throughout the Northland. Liberty, Platte City, Parkville, Smithville, Berry Road, and more. In fact, Platte Valley Bank was recently named one of the 5 strongest mid-sized banks in Kansas City in 2014 by the Kansas City Business Journal. Try our new mobile deposit options on our new banking app. For more information on locations, apps, loans, and more, visit one of our locations or online at PlatteValleyBank.com. Platte Valley Bank, proudly supporting high school athletics in the Northland. Visit anytime at PlatteValleyBank.com. Member FDIC.
Did you know there are tutors available to help boost students' potential and help them shine on college entrance exams? That's right. With College Tutors, students are matched with tutors that fit their unique learning styles and educational needs. Flexible and focused, the College Tutors Learning Center has the resources necessary to improve testing scores. Contact College Tutors for a trained tutor today and excel when it matters most. Call 816-256-5907 or visit collegetutors.com.
Looking to buy or sell a home in Platte County or the Northland? The Ken Smith team of Keller Williams has been a trusted realtor for more than a decade for both buyers and sellers of residential and commercial properties. Although a native of Clay County, Ken has been a Platte County citizen since 1996 and is licensed in both Missouri and Kansas. The Ken Smith team is about much more than real estate. With a focus on education and communication, a fully documented marketing strategy, and a 30-day listing period on all homes. The Ken Smith team, about your life and your dreams, focused on you. Contact Ken Smith anytime at 816-304-7580 or visit online at moveupwithken.com. That's 816-304-7580 and move up with Ken.
Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Briar Payne Mead Insurance in Kansas City today at bpminsurance.com or call 913-402-9576. That's 913-402-9576 and ask about Auto Owners Insurance today.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas. High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on and on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more.
Chiefs checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs checking from Community America.
For the best gourmet pizza in the Northland, don't look any farther than Stone Canyon Pizza in Parkville. Locally owned and operated since 1995, Stone Canyon's pizzas are made to order from the freshest ingredients. Visit either location for lunch or an enjoyable evening in downtown Parkville or the Zona Rosa location across from Barnes & Noble. And of course, visit anytime at StoneCanyonPizza.com. Stone Canyon Pizza, a fixture in Parkville and proud supporter of Park Hill and Park Hill South athletics.
So 1:22 remaining here in the first half from Preston Field. Number 12 Park Hill taking on number 4 Staley. As Loa Grace, they finally got him into the ambulance, and the ambulance is loaded up and they're driving away. And we hope the best for Loa and the Grace family, and hope that everything will be okay. It will be 1st and 10, ball at the 40-yard line after the interception by Gosley. And now Coach Hood is having his team warm up, as both teams have been standing around for a while, and you don't want to compound the issue right now with people getting cold and then tearing something or pulling something here right before halftime. And so right now, both teams are getting warmed up once again, trying to make sure they're ready to go here as we get started. And it's going to be tough. There's a lot of emotion in this ball game. We had some offsetting penalties with some unsportsmanlike conduct right after the coin toss. And so they are going to put 3 minutes on the clock for warm-ups, but we had some offsetting penalties to start off this game after the coin toss, as both teams were fired up to play tonight. And so far the defenses have really been the story of this first half, as both defenses have come out and pitched shutouts so far and not really given up too many yards, except for that first drive for Staley where they got all the way down in a goal-to-go situation inside the 10-yard line. They got down to the 1, but then the Trojan defense held on a 4th and goal from the 1, and then from there it's just really been a battle. Neither team has really been any closer to scoring the rest of this first half, but after the interception, we'll see exactly what the Trojan offense has in store here, as they have their best field position of the ball game, and it will be at the Staley 40-yard line. We thank you for joining us here on 810varsity.com, and we'll hope you stick with us the rest of this game, as this is one of the best games in the state of Missouri this weekend, also one of the best games in the Metro. And we know that, Blue Springs, Lee Summit West is going on, and also Miege and St. Thomas Aquinas, so plenty of games you could be listening to or watching, and we thank you for listening and sticking with us here on 810varsity.com.
Yeah, especially with that Blue Springs Lee Summit West game. I mean, same situation as we got here. They're at halftime tied at 0. I just got on and looked real quick, and then that Aquinas Bishop Miege game. Miege had a 14-0 lead after one quarter. Meanwhile, St. Thomas Aquinas has exploded for 3 touchdowns since that point, and I can only imagine how the environment there. They're at STA for that game tonight. I believe it's at St. Thomas Aquinas. some other scores just to look at. It's kind of involving Park Hill for sure. Lee Summit North has a 14-7 lead on Ray Peck. Intriguing score, Ray Peck hanging there with Lee Summit North. Blue Springs South has a 13-0 lead on Park Hill South. Liberty North and Lee Summit are tied at 14. That's we'll see Lee Summit North here, or Liberty North here next week when they take on Park Hill South.
So the officials have given the ready for play, so we'll have a minute 22 remaining here in the first half. Ball spotted at the 40-yard line after the interception by Gosley. And out will come Ryan Graves leading the team onto the field. Javion Gaswright will stand to the left of Graves, who stands in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Graves takes the snap. He's going to pitch it. Around the outside comes Jalen Nolan. He's going to lose yardage all the way back to the 48-yard line. Might have been a late hit there. And some pushing and shoving on the sidelines, but no flags. And Coach Hood is giving an earful to the refs as he is not happy with the fact that they've already thrown some unsportsmanlike conducts on his defenders this half, but nothing there. So a minute 15 remaining. A big loss by Jalen Knoll back to the 48-yard line. A loss of 8. It'll bring up 2nd and 18. In motion goes Knoll. Fake handoff. Now Graves going to throw over the middle. He finds his intended receiver. It's Davis Suppis who gets to the 42-yard line. A gain of 6 yards on the play. They'll bring up a 3rd and 12 now as the clock will tick under a minute.
Yeah, you completed the pass there, but I don't really agree with that decision there. Throw it to double coverage and nearly have that pass picked off.
3 wide receivers to the far side. Here comes the pressure. It's a screen pass, and Gaswright has it at the 35. He's at the 30. Blockers out in front to the 20. He's to the 10. 5. Dives for the end zone, and the official's going to say he stepped down at the 1-yard line. Down to the 1 on a screen pass. He gets all the way down to the 1. Great job by Javion Gathright. 42 seconds remaining here in the first half. A gain of 41 yards. And now the officials telling people to back up. Looks like on the other side, Coach Light thought he might have fumbled it out of the back of the end zone, which would have been a touchback. So 1st and goal, ball at the 1. Graves stands in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He hands off to Gathright. Gathright goes straight ahead. And we're waiting on the spot, and they're going to say he's short. Short at the 1-yard line. Trojans still have 3 timeouts. They've yet to take one here. Clock now ticks to 22 seconds, and finally a timeout is called. So 21 seconds remaining here in the first half. Trojans knocking on the door at the 1-yard line.
And really, this is huge. Because if you're Park Hill, you score here, you're going to get the ball back. Start the second half.
This is a big down, and you can understand why Coach Hood went ahead and called the timeout here to talk it over. Besides trying to keep some time on the clock, he definitely wants to talk it over with his team because you're so close to punching it in. You also want to talk over the situation of whether you need to run on a kicker at some point if you get to that situation.
Still got 2 timeouts. You're not really worried about running on the kicker, I guess, at this point. You just kind of get in the end zone, and then if you get down to 4th down, that's at that point, that's when you'll probably kick it here. I'm surprised he didn't take a timeout a little later. Let him kill a little bit more time.
Ready for play is called by the officials. Graves takes the snap. He's going to run around the left side. He dives forward, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown. From 1 yard out goes Ryan Graves. It's his 4th touchdown on the season. And with 17 seconds remaining here in the second quarter, Park Hill leads 6-0, pending the extra point. And out to attempt the extra point is Austin. Heinrichsen will hold it. The snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up, and it is good. 7-0 our score. The number 12 team in the Metro leads the number 4 team in the Metro here 7-0 with 17 seconds remaining here in the first half. And what a drive there. After the pickoff at the 40, you lose 8 yards on the first play. You pick up 6 yards to the 42 on the next play. Then you run a screen pass out in the flat on third down. You pick up 41 yards to the 1. You try to run a play for Gathright at the 1-yard line. You don't get it. Call timeout. And then Ryan Graves punches it in from 1 yard out and puts you up 7-0. Great job there by that offense, cashing in that defensive turnover.
Yeah, especially that third down, it was about a 3rd and 10. They run that perfectly designed screen pass. I'll give Coach Hood a lot of credit on that call. Running that, it was set up perfectly, had blockers out in front, and Gathright took that down, nearly took it into the end zone.
Austin to kick off, and he kicks this one. This is a high kick, going to be taken at the 35-yard line. The catch was made by Jacob Brick, the 5'8 sophomore. And so 16 seconds remaining here before halftime. You got 2 timeouts. You wonder if Staley's just going to come out and kneel on it, though.
Yeah, I'd say that would be the play for me. Maybe run one play, hand the ball off to your stud running back, Jaden Moss. And if he can pick up 10 or 15 yards on the ground, maybe see what you can do after that. But also, you got to think about the quarterback change that you've made.
So Dawson Parks now stands in the shotgun. He's more of a running threat as Moss goes in motion. Parks is going to run it. He's at the 35. He bowls forward to the 40, inside the 40 to the 41-yard line. 6 seconds on the game clock, and that will be the final play of the half. As at halftime, it's 7-0. The number 12 Park Hill Trojans on top of the number 4 Staley Falcons here at Preston Field here on A10Varsity.com.
Buy or sell a home in Platte County or the Northland? The Ken Smith team of Keller Williams has been a trusted realtor for more than a decade for both buyers and sellers of residential and commercial properties. Although a native of Clay County, Ken has been a Platte County citizen since 1996 and is licensed in both Missouri and Kansas. The Ken Smith team is about much more than real estate. With a focus on education and communication, a fully documented marketing strategy, and a 30-day listing period on all homes. The Ken Smith team, about your life and your dreams, focused on you. Contact Ken Smith anytime at 816-304-7580 or visit online at moveupwithken.com. That's 816-304-7580 and move up with Ken.
Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Briar Payne Mead Insurance in Kansas City today at bpminsurance.com or call 913-402-9576. That's 913-402-9576 and ask about Auto Owners Insurance today.
For the best gourmet pizza in the Northland, don't look any farther than Stone Canyon Pizza in Parkville. Locally owned and operated since 1995, Stone Canyon's pizzas are made to order from the freshest ingredients. Visit either location for lunch or an enjoyable evening in downtown Parkville or the Zona Rosa location across from Barnes & Noble. And of course, visit anytime at StoneCanyonPizza.com. Stone Canyon Pizza, a fixture in Parkville and proud supporter of Park Hill and Park Hill South athletics.
Platte Valley Bank has been a fixture for Northland's banking needs with locations throughout the Northland. Liberty, Platte City, Parkville, Smithville, Berry Road, and more. In fact, Platte Valley Bank was recently named one of the 5 strongest mid-sized banks in Kansas City in 2014 by the Kansas City Business Journal. Try our new mobile deposit options on our new banking app. For more information on locations, apps, loans, and more, visit one of our locations or online at PlatteValleyBank.com. Platte Valley Bank, proudly supporting high school athletics in the Northland. Visit anytime at PlatteValleyBank.com. Member FDIC.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on and on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
For the best gourmet pizza in the Northland, don't look any farther than Stone Canyon Pizza in Parkville. Locally owned and operated since 1995, Stone Canyon's pizzas are made to order from the freshest ingredients. Visit either location for lunch or an enjoyable evening in downtown Parkville or the Zona Rosa location across from Barnes & Noble. And of course, visit anytime at StoneCanyonPizza.com. Stone Canyon Pizza, a fixture in Parkville and proud supporter of Park Hill and Park Hill South athletics.
Did you know there are tutors available to help boost students' potential and help them shine on college entrance exams? That's right. With College Tutors, students are matched with tutors that fit their unique learning styles and educational needs. Flexible and focused, the College Tutors Learning Center has the resources necessary to improve testing scores. Contact College Tutors for a trained tutor today and excel when it matters most. Call 816-256-5907 or visit collegetutors.com.
Looking to buy or sell a home in Platte County or the Northland? The Ken Smith team of Keller Williams has been a trusted realtor for more than a decade for both buyers and sellers of residential and commercial properties. Although a native of Clay County, Ken has been a Platte County citizen since 1996 and is licensed in both Missouri and Kansas. The Ken Smith team is about much more than real estate. With a focus on education and communication, a fully documented marketing strategy, and a 30-day listing period on all homes. The Ken Smith team, about your life and your dreams, focused on you. Contact Ken Smith anytime.
Platte Valley Bank has been a fixture for Northland's banking needs with locations throughout the Northland. Liberty, Platte City, Parkville, Smithville, Berry Road, and more. In fact, Platte Valley Bank was recently named one of the 5 strongest mid-sized banks in Kansas City in 2014 by the Kansas City Business Journal. Try our new mobile deposit options on our new banking app. For more information on locations, apps, loans, and more, visit one of our locations or online at PlatteValleyBank.com. Platte Valley Bank, proudly supporting high school athletics in the Northland. Visit anytime at PlatteValleyBank.com. Member FDIC.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on and on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Chiefs checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs checking from Community America.
Did you know there are tutors available to help boost students' potential and help them shine on college entrance exams? That's right. With College Tutors, students are matched with tutors that fit their unique learning styles and educational needs. Flexible and focused, the College Tutors Learning Center has the resources necessary to improve testing scores. Contact College Tutors for a trained tutor today and excel when it matters most. Call 816-256-5907 or visit collegetutors.com.
Looking to buy or sell a home in Platte County or the Northland? The Ken Smith team of Keller Williams has been a trusted realtor for more than a decade for both buyers and sellers of residential and commercial properties. Although a native of Clay County, Ken has been a Platte County citizen since 1996 and is licensed in both Missouri and Kansas. The Ken Smith team is about much more than real estate. With a focus on education and communication, a fully documented marketing strategy, and a 30-day listing period on all homes. The Ken Smith team, about your life and your dreams, focused on you. Contact Ken Smith anytime at 816-304-7580 or visit online at moveupwithken.com. That's 816-304-7580 and move up with Ken.
Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Briar Payne Mead Insurance in Kansas City today at bpminsurance.com or call 913-402-9576. That's 913-402-9576 and ask about Auto Owners Insurance today.
Chiefs checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs checking from Community America.
Did you know there are tutors available to help boost students' potential and help them shine on college entrance exams? That's right. With College Tutors, students are matched with tutors that fit their unique learning styles and educational needs. Flexible and focused, the College Tutors Learning Center has the resources necessary to improve testing scores. Contact College Tutors for a trained tutor today and excel when it matters most. Call 816-256-5907 or visit collegetutors.com.
Looking to buy or sell a home in Platte County or the Northland? The Ken Smith team of Keller Williams has been a trusted realtor for more than a decade for both buyers and sellers of residential and commercial properties. Although a native of Clay County, Ken has been a Platte County citizen since 1996 and is licensed in both Missouri and Kansas. The Ken Smith team is about much more than real estate. With a focus on education and communication, a fully documented marketing strategy, and a 30-day listing period on all homes. The Ken Smith team, about your life and your dreams, focused on you. Contact Ken Smith anytime at 816-304-7580 or visit online at moveupwithken.com. That's 816-304-7580 and move up with Ken.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on and on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Chiefs checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs checking from Community America.
Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Briar Payne Mead Insurance in Kansas City today at bpminsurance.com or call 913-402-9576. That's 913-402-9576 and ask about Auto Owners Insurance today.
Welcome back here to Preston Field on the campus of Park Hill High School as the number 12 team in the Metro. The Park Hill Trojans currently lead 7-0 over the number 4 Staley Falcons. We're getting you set here for the start of the second half. Both teams out stretching right now as they come back here on this cold night. The mist has seemed to have stopped, so that's a good thing. And we'll see exactly what happens here in the second half. Now, to catch you up in case you're just joining us, there was only the one touchdown, and it was right before half. It was 17 seconds left in the first half. Ryan Graves punched it in from 1 yard out after a 41-yard screen pass from Graves to Javion Gathright. Took it down to the 1 yard line, and they were able to punch it in from there to make it 7-0. Now, before all of that sequence of event happened, at the 1:22 mark left in the first half, Carter Gosley picked the ball off at the 40-yard line for Park Hill to give them the first down. But in the process of all of that going down, the starting quarterback, Loa Grace, for Staley, something happened between, like, a defender dove to try to sack him, and it looks like it might have hit him in the legs, and Loa Grace fell to the ground at the 20-yard line, and they had to bring out the ambulance. And we hope that Loa and the Grace family are doing okay now as we get started here for the second half. And so we're going to be expecting to see the running quarterback for the Falcons in the second half. That's Dawson Parks, the 6'1 junior. And we'll see exactly what they can do, as Parks on the season hasn't really passed the ball a lot. He's been more of the running threat, and they shuffled him in and out at times just to give defenses some different looks. But so far on the season, Parks has thrown it 24 times. He's completing 45% of his passes. He's thrown 2 touchdown passes, though, so you have to think that they're going to call on him now to lead them down the field, that at some point he is going to have to throw the football a little bit.
Yeah, my thought here in the second half, I'm going to expect from Staley a lot of read option type stuff, a lot of Jaden Moss, and a lot of Koa Grace. And then mix in the passing game, try to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, Mark Robinson and Ramon Shelton there on the outside. And wouldn't be surprised if we see early here when Staley gets the ball on offense, if they tried to hit a quick pass, give Parks a little bit of confidence, get him feeling good in the game. And so then maybe they can make a run here in this second half. And we'll find out a little bit more here as we got Park Hill, who's going to have the football to start the second half as well, following the touchdown they just had.
Yeah, and we will see exactly what Park Hill can do once they get the ball back here to start the second half. Park Hill getting the good thing where you score right before half, and then only one play was able to be run because there's such little time left on that last drive for Staley. And so they'll get the ball right back here and have a chance to take it down the field to make it a 2-score lead.
Yeah, and then that touchdown that they scored there, that was one of those, your defense was kind of like, oh man, for Staley, you all of your players are probably just like, where their minds were immediately. So, I mean, I'm expecting if Staley turn the switch back on and their defense to come back out and continue the way they were playing until that final 122 that they had. They were playing some really good defense. Same with Park Hill on both sides. Park Hill just having that one long drive ran against them, but stuffed them at the 1 and was able to hold them on 4 downs inside the 5-yard line. So, I mean, I expect to see a lot of the same defense from both sides of the ball, or both sides of both teams here. And so it'll be an entertaining second half about as entertaining as the first half was, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, first half was definitely a defensive battle as both defenses came out and really brought it in the first half. And other than that 41-yard screen pass, there was really no offense to speak of on either side. Neither team was able to get anything really going. Penalties helped Staley on that first drive to move it down inside the goal-to-go situation where they eventually got stopped at the 1-yard line. So they're teeing it up here, and teeing it up for Staley is Jacob Stewart. Back deep to return for the Trojans is Jalen Knoll. And also looks like Joe Webb back deep to return as well. So Jacob Stewart about ready to get us set for second half action here of week 8 of Missouri high school football. Matt Moon alongside Nathan Kendall, and here we go. Scores 7-0 as Stewart kicks it high, and it's going to be taken at the 22-yard line. No, it slips through the hands of the up man. He jumps on top of it quickly. Able to jump on top of that ball was Carter Gosley, who had the big pick with 1:22 remaining at the 40-yard line. And now Ryan Graves will lead the offense out on the field with the ball spotted at the 23, 1st and 10. And we'll see what Coach Hood and this Trojan offense have in store for this staunch Staley defense, who has been really good all night. Getting pressure on Graves and keeping him in the pocket, not allowing the leading rusher for the team, the quarterback Ryan Graves, to get anything going with his feet. So they come out. 2 wide receivers are going to split out to the far side, 1 to the near. Gathright joins him in the backfield and is going to get the handoff. He's going to try the right side. He gets up to the make that the 26-yard line. It'll be a gain of 3 yards on the play. He'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Javion Gathright, 10 carries, 36 yards in that first half to lead the Park Hill Trojans rushing. Ryan Graves, like we kind of mentioned there in that second quarter, wasn't really able to get anything going on the ground. Did have the touchdown run to end that first half.
Graves audibles a little bit. He moves Gathright to the outside. Graves going to throw it out quickly, and it's going to be incomplete. The pass intended for Peyton Stanfield. He's not able to make the grab at the 30-yard line, and so now we'll bring up a 3rd and 7 at the 26. Coverage there by the Falcons was Dominique Lyons, the 6'1 junior.
It's one of those. Stanfield as a senior. In your head, you got to bring it in before you try to run. That one, it looked like he just tried to turn upfield just a tick soon.
No pressure brought this time. Graves has plenty of time to pass, and he overthrows his intended receiver. Had Joe Webb, it would have been enough for a first down. They could not connect, and it will bring up a 4th down, and out will come Henriksen in the punting unit to punt it deep, and back deep to return is Koa Grace. Also back deep on the return is Jacob Brick, who had a huge return in the first half that put Staley in great field position early in the first quarter.
So I'll be interested to see if Koa Grace gets the ball, what purpose he's going to run with here in this second half, if he's going to run any differently than he has early in the ball game.
Henriksen gets it away. This is a spiraling punt. It's going to be fair caught at the 42-yard line by Koa Grace, and that will bring up 1st and 10 at their own 42 for Staley. And now here comes Dawson Parks to lead the team onto the field, and he'll be the leader at quarterback for the remainder of the season, most likely.
That's what it looked like, yeah.
And so we'll see what Parks can do and putting this team on his back. Again, this is the defending state champion, and now they're having to go with their junior backup quarterback after the injury earlier tonight. So 11-12 remaining here in the third quarter.
Like I kind of said, really good stop there. I expected the Staley defense come back out and play the way they did there most of that first half, and they did it just like I was expecting them to.
Moss stands behind and gets the handoff. That was Parks at quarterback. It was a quick handoff, just a gain of 1 to the 43-yard line. James Gorner on the stop. He'll bring up 2nd and 9. Ball at the 43. Staley quickly gets up on the ball. 3 wide receivers split out to the far side. Parks in the shotgun all alone. Now in motion comes Moss. Is going to be a fake handoff. Parks is going to keep it. He's going to go to the outside. He gets a hole. He's got enough for a first down as he scampers inside Trojan territory down to the 43-yard line. A great run by Dawson Parks.
And that is exactly the dimension that Dawson Parks brings to this Staley offense that Loa Grace really wasn't able to. He did there in the first half, was able to run the ball pretty effectively when he did run it, but Parks brings a dimension that it's not going to be easy to stop for Staley's defense now. Or for Park Hill's defense, sorry.
Moss gets the ball and takes it inside the 40-yard line to the 39, a gain of 4 yards on the play, and now brings up a 2nd and 6. So Park stands in the shotgun. Moss stands directly behind him in the eye. Handoff to Moss. Moss gets a block and gets taken down. Submarining to take him down. It looks like Javion Gathright. He's going to get up and wobble just a little bit as he absolutely decleated Moss, who gets close to a first down and bring up 3rd and 1 now as the ball sits past the 45 to the 33-yard line.
Yeah, they're bringing in more of the bruising running back here.
They actually gave him the first down after the spot. So 1st and 10. In comes Koa Grace. It's going to be a handoff to Grace. Grace finds a hole. And right now, this front line for Staley is opening up wide holes. And they take the ball inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line. They'll bring up 2nd and 5. Dawson Parks again joined in the backfield by Koa Grace. He goes in motion now to the right flat. Parks has the ball. He's going to get past the 25, down close to the 20, down to the 21-yard line. That's going to be enough for another Staley first down as they are just marching the ball down the field on this Trojan defense. And that Trojan front that has been solid all year is right now having some big trouble with the big guys up front for Staley.
The Staley offensive line, we haven't talked about them much because this Park Hill defensive line, they're a really good an offensive line, one of the better ones in Class 5.
A short gain this time. Handoff to Koa Grace. He gets it inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of 3 yards on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 7 now. Moss, after getting cut low, we have not seen him come back on the field. Grace has stayed in the ball game. Parks takes the handoff. He's going to hand it off to Grace again. Big hole, but there standing in the hole at the 15-yard line was Hayden Wallace. So a 2-yard pickup. It'll bring up 3rd and 5. But anytime you're meeting Hayden Wallace 2 yards down the field and not 2 yards in your backfield, it's a good play. 8 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. 3rd and 4 at the 15. In motion goes Robinson. Parks takes the handoff, and he's going to hold on to it, and he's going to be cut down. It's Mikey Miles. Mikey Miles, the first time today, comes up to make the stop. He'll bring up a 4th down as it's a short gain. Ball's going to be spotted at the 14-yard line. Bring up 4th and 3, and now comes on the kicking team.
And that was the same exact play they ran just a little bit earlier in the drive, but on the previous one, Miles got sucked down, and that's what gave Parks all the room to get around the edge.
Jake Wilson to hold. Out will come Jacob Stewart. The ball sits at the 14-yard line. This will be a 31-yard field goal. The snap is back. Kick is up. It looks like it would have been good, but there is a timeout being called. And the officials are going to say Staley called a timeout. So with 7:16 remaining here in the third quarter, Staley calls a timeout. We'll take one with him here on A10Varsity.com.
For the best gourmet pizza in the Northland, don't look any farther than Stone Canyon Pizza in Parkville. Locally owned and operated since 1995, Stone Canyon's pizzas are made to order from the freshest ingredients. Visit either location for lunch or an enjoyable evening in downtown Parkville or the Zona Rosa location across from Barnes & Noble. And of course, visit anytime at StoneCanyonPizza.com. Stone Canyon Pizza, a fixture in Parkville and proud supporter of Park Hill and Park Hill South athletics.
7:16 remaining here at Preston Field in the third quarter. Matt Moon alongside Nathan Kendall. The score is 7-0. The number 12 Park Hill Trojans lead the number 4 Staley Falcons. Staley, before the timeout, were set up to go for a field goal. They are going to come on and take the field goal once again. Jake Wilson lined up to hold it as Jacob Stewart runs on to kick it. This will be a 31-yard attempt. Before the timeout, his kick did go through, but now he'll have to try again. The snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up. This one is wobbly, and it's good. A 31-yard field goal for Staley puts them on the board here, 7-3 after a great drive on their first drive of the third quarter and of the second half. A 31-yard field goal from Stewart. At 7:12 remaining here in the third quarter. And really, you have to look at the running ability that sort of threw it off for Dawson Parks. He was able to run to the outside, which then opened up holes in the middle for Moss and Grace to move the ball.
Mainly Grace, because of what you saw there. The last hit there that Moss took coming up when he got spun and kind of came up a little wobbly, shaky, and he went to the sideline. We didn't see him the rest of that drive. I don't know if it was just maybe he was just tired because he has missed some time here recently. He hasn't really played much, if at all, over the last few games, and so I saw a lot of Koa Grace on that drive there.
Back deep to return for the Trojans. Antonio McCullough and Jalen Knoll. Stewart tees it away at the 40-yard line. He runs up on it, and this time he kicks it a little bit deeper. It's going to be caught at the 20-yard line. And tripped up actually at the 15 as backpedaling was Joe Webb to make the grab, and he's taught down there at the 15-yard line. And so it'll be 1st and 10 Trojans at their own 15-yard line. And so you sort of got to give the special teams edge right now to the Falcons, as the special teams is not only get the field goal, but then also have the great coverage on the kickoff.
That's one of those, if you're Joe Webb, if you have to backpedal, you don't even go near it. You just let it go. Let your guy behind you, who I believe that was Jalen Newell, you let him catch it because he's coming forward for it, and it's a much easier catch for him.
Corey Bradford joins Graves in the backfield. Graves takes the snap. He's going to fake the throw. He's going to throw it out to the flat. It's going to be incomplete. Intended receiver was Jalen Knoll, but it was smelled out by the defense. On the coverage was Landon Donaldson, the free safety. He flew into the gap and was able to keep them from being able to complete the pass to Knoll out in the flat.
Landon Donaldson, it's almost like they've seen that play on film all week. So Donaldson came up from his safety spot. I believe he was even following Newell in motion and was right there and forced the errant pass.
Again, Bradford joins Graves in the backfield. Graves looks over the sideline to Coach Hood with 9 seconds on the play clock. Graves now calls out the signal. 5 seconds on the play clock. He gets the snap off. Graves looking down the field. He's feeling some pressure now. Rolls out to his right. Graves has a guy down the field. He's going to go ahead and throw it. He has Suppis. Suppis at the 32-yard line. A strike for the first down. There is a flag back from where he threw it, and it will probably be a hold on the offense. It is a hold on the offense. So that will negate the great pass and throw to Suppis. And they're going to say Corey Bradford is going to be called for the hold. And now this will probably be marched half the distance to the goal. And the ball is going to be spotted at the 6-yard line. So a loss of 9 yards there, but they'll replay second down. It'll be 2nd and 19 Ball spotted at the 6.
I believe we're seeing him out there because I think Javion Gathright was even was dinged up on that last offensive possession or either last defensive possession. So I think he was over here getting stretched out a little bit earlier.
Graves gets the signal from the sideline. Is now going to roll to his right and is going to be ripped down inside the 5-yard line. They smelled it out. The defense coming up to make the stop was Rocco Giglio. He drops him inside the 5, back to the 4, and actually they're going to say he got to the 5-yard line. They'll bring up a 3rd and 20 as the clock ticks to 6:16 remaining here in the third quarter. And the offense for the Trojans is starting to stall out as this defense for Staley is flying around. 10 seconds on the play clock. They finally get the play in here. 2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Bradford in the backfield. Graves going to take the snap. He's going to hand it off to Bradford. Bradford tries to bounce it. He gets to the 10-yard line, up to the 11. A gain of 6 yards, and now a flag on the play. And this will be interesting here, what they'll call. Well, the official is taking a long time here. Dead ball, personal foul, and it's going to be on Park Hill. So after that carry by Bradford, got him up to the 11-yard line. It's now going to back them up, and they're going to be deep in their own territory. They will not have to replay the down. He'll bring up 4th down because it was a dead ball, personal foul. And so now Henriksen's going to have to punt, standing in his own end zone, and they've been pretty close to blocking it anyways. So we'll see what Henriksen can do. Looks like Brick and Grace are both going to be standing at the Trojan 40-yard line here to receive this punt. And if there was ever a time for Colby Henriksen to uncork one, it's right here. Pressure comes. Henriksen gets it away, and he does uncork one. But it's going to be taken at the 35-yard line by Brick. And great field position for the Falcons as they stand on the Trojan 35. And that's where they'll have the ball 1st and 10 with 5:40 remaining here in the third quarter, trailing 7-3.
Yeah, Staley starting in business. They're not very far away from points, or what should be points with an easy field goal. But they want to hit pay dirt here and take the lead in this third quarter with how their defense has stood up here to start this second half.
Gathright is back out on the field on defense, back in his safety position. Running onto the field, though, is also Jaden Moss is now on the field. And Dawson Park stands at quarterback. In motion goes Robinson. And it's going to be a fake handoff. A throw down the middle of the field by Parks, and he sails it incomplete. Way over the head of his intended receiver. And so that'll bring up 2nd and 10, ball at the 35.
It was a really well-designed play, a better throw, and that's probably a completion over the middle and is going to go for big yards. But
a legal shift is going to be called on the Falcons, so that will march him back 5 yards. Coach Hood has to be sort of happy about that after seeing a lot of penalties going against him in this second half. So we'll now bring up a 1st and 15. They're going to replay the down. So Dawson Park stands again at the shotgun, sort of in a pistol formation as he has Moss standing directly behind him. In motion once again goes Robinson. Parks takes the handoff. No, he's going to hand it off this time to Moss. Moss finds a huge hole. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. Cuts inside. Gets dragged down at the 10-yard line. He goes right through the teeth of the Park Hill defense. Gets down to the 10. And it's 1st down inside the red zone for the Falcons.
A huge play there for Jaden Moss. You can kind of tell he's not 100% quite yet.
They're going to officially spot it at the 11-yard line. They hand it off to Koa Grace. He goes straight ahead, and he is drilled by Wallace. Looked like he was down, but the officials are going to say he wasn't and allowed him to push forward to the 5-yard line. And now penalty flags are coming in. And I'm wondering if there's a personal foul getting called on James Gore as his helmet is off. There's 2 flags on the play. This will probably be offsetting. Gore still does not have a helmet. I don't know what happened to it. And I'm not even seeing it out on the field. But the officials obviously were not watching at the 11-yard line as Hayden Wallace absolutely decked Koa Grace, and he was down about the 9. His knee definitely touched, and he bounced back up and kept running. And now one of the assistant coaches is walking with James Gore's helmet.
I would not be surprised if somehow, or if James Gore may not be in this game much longer because of what may have transpired. There may be a couple guys not in this game anymore because somebody ripped the helmet off of James Gore.
And now the officials are telling Coach Light to get back to his sideline as he has come out on the field. Again, this is a battle here. These are 2 teams that are ranked very high in the A-10 varsity top 25 poll, and both teams are playing with a lot of passion. Coach Hood is also yelling at the officials. Now there's calling a sideline warning. It's going to go against Staley.
While they try to sort out the rest of the penalty, but they're going to mark the ball up to the 5.
Poor marking there by the officials. They did not see as Koa Grace clearly was down. There is a personal foul. They're going to call that against the Trojans. And this has turned into a mess as the officials have really lost control of this ballgame. There were 2 flags that were thrown. We've only seen 1 flag called so far. And then on top of that, they marked the ball being dead at the 5 when Koa Grace was clearly down at the 9-yard line. He bounced up, and after his knees clearly touched the ground, and ran for another 4 yards, but the officials somehow didn't catch it. And I think Coach Hood is giving it to the official right now, with 5:18 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. There's still a flag down on the field that has not been addressed. And somehow they're thinking about calling ready for play, even though the White Hat is having a discussion with Coach Hood. And now they march the ball into the 5-yard line. Oh, this is...
I think Coach Hood's trying to get figured out how there's not a penalty on Staley if James Gore's helmet was ripped off his head.
Yeah, and that's what they're asking right now. It looks like he's now talking to the back judge, who was the one who threw the penalty flag. But once again, they have not addressed the fact that there were 2 flags on the field. And the Gore penalty flag came in way late, and now here comes the side judge to give his opinion on what exactly is going on. So this has just become a big mess.
Unless one of the penalties was the sideline warning. Yeah, that's a flag.
Then at that point, it should have been offsetting penalties. We shouldn't be having this.
And so now we're going to
We apologize as the officials have lost control of this ball game here. 7-3 is our score, though. Staley knocking on the door.
We're as confused as you all are out there. If you're watching, not sure what's going on, we're as confused as you because, I mean, of course, the referees don't have mics, so they can't tell us what's going on, things like that.
Now the officials trying to calm down Coach Hood, who is not happy about what's going on here on the field. Once again, there's poor officiating in the fact that a player was down at the 9-yard line. got up and ran another 4 yards and was tackled, had to be tackled once again, even after he clearly was down at the 9. And now the official's running to the other side of the field to talk to Light, Coach Light. And then James Gore, I'm not sure, he is still out of the ball game.
He's down here on the sideline. It looks like one of the assistants has been talking to him a little bit, telling him, of course, keep your head, dude. You can't be.
Looks like Jawan Grant is in for him. The 5'11", 315 senior is now in at nose tackle. Parks takes the snap. No, he's going to throw it. It's a touchdown. He threw the quick slant. This one to Blake Profit from 5 yards out, and it's good for a touchdown. So Parks to Profit from 5 yards out with 5:15 remaining, and Staley has taken the lead.
Really well-designed play there. It's a little play action. Just flip it over the top, wide open to Profit.
Stewart on to attempt the extra point, and he will put it through. And just like that, it's now 10-7. Staley on top with 5:15 remaining here in the third quarter here on A10Varsity.com.
Chiefs checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs checking from Community America.
5:15 remaining here in the third quarter. 10-7 is our ball game as Staley has come out and put up 10 straight points here in the third quarter to take the 3-point lead over the number 12 ranked Park Hill Trojans. Stewart tees it up at the 40-yard line. Back deep to return is Knoll and McCullough. This one's a short kick once again, taken by Knoll. Knoll trying to find a block. He's going to sprint to the outside. Knoll goes back and is at the 25. He's at the 30 and going to be pushed out of bounds at the 32-yard line. And that's where Trojans will take over 1st and 10, trailing by a field goal. And now if you're Coach Hood, you got to get your team's composure back and get your offense moving in the right direction.
Yeah, if you're Park Hill, you find the plays that work. You start hitting those little short passes, start hitting some of them runs. And good to have Javion Gathright back in the game at running back, because he's made your plays tonight in the running game, him and Ryan Graves.
Gathright does join Graves in the backfield. They now call the ready for play. Graves looks over the field. He has 2 wide receivers split out to the far side, 1 to the near. Graves going to hand it off to Gathright. Gathright finds a hole. He spins and gets taken down at the 35-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 3 on first down. They'll bring up 2nd and 7. One thing that the Falcons defense is doing very good is they're not allowing any passes out into the flat, and that's where the Trojans have been very dangerous all season. Again, a handoff to Gathright. Gathright goes straight ahead. He's met by the first line of defense. He only is going to gain about 2 yards. Coming up to make the stop was Preston Wiss, the 6-foot defensive tackle.
And here's where you need, if you're Park Hill, you need that surefire 5-yard pass, 5-yard something. That's going to get you those yards because you need to extend this drive to keep Staley from continuing their momentum they have.
In motion goes Stanfield. It's going to be a handoff to Stanfield. He's trying to find the hole. He's flipped. He's lost 2 yards. Coming up to make the stop was Jake Wilson, the strong safety. He smelled out the sweep and drops Peyton Stanfield for a 2-yard loss. back to the 35-yard line. It brings up 4th and 6, and out will come the punt team. Colby Henriksen back to punt once again with Koa Grace and Jacob Brick back deep to return. Henriksen feeling some pressure, gets this one off. This one's going to bounce at the 40, take a Park Hill bounce, and drop right at the 31-yard line. And so this will be the worst field position that Staley has had of this half, but they're going to take over at their own 31 with 3:23 remaining here in the third quarter. Ahead by 3 and trying to add to their lead. And it does look like James Gore is now back on the field. And we'll continue to watch that. Again, as we stated earlier in the ballgame, James Gore actually played on the state championship team for Staley as a sophomore and then came to Park Hill in the offseason. A throw down the middle of the field again. This time the completed pass is to Corbin Peters. He's going to carry a defender down to the 40-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 9 yards on first down and bring up a 2nd and 1. So Dawson Parks is having some success getting the ball to his tight ends. Moss stands directly behind Parks in the shotgun. Parks is going to drop back to pass. He's going to look deep. He throws it deep. He has his intended receiver and overthrows his intended receiver. Great coverage there on the outside. He was trying to hook up with Raymond Shelton, but it's incomplete pass and now brings up 3rd and 1. Coverage there by Donovan Bustamante.
And Parks got lit up on that play too. It's kind of pretty similar to the play that we saw earlier with the injury to Loa Grace. He took a shot, and luckily he was able to get up from that.
2:45 remaining here in the third quarter. 10-7 is our score. The number 4 Staley Falcons are on top. Parks going to try the sweep to the left side, and he's going to have enough for a first down as he pushes it out to the 48-yard line. He gains 8 yards there on 3rd down, and it'll be 1st and 10, ball at the Falcon 48. We really have not heard Mikey Miles' name too much on defense tonight. Gagne fakes the blitz. Now Parks is going to look over to the sidelines. Has Moss standing to his left now in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers split out to the far side. 1 to the near. Parks takes the handoff. He's going to hand off to Moss. Moss trying the right side. It's going to be Grossley. Looks like he got held. Finally ripped down was by Hayden Wallace was Moss. And it looks like there's going to be 2 flags on the field. And now James Gore once again does not have a helmet.
And Moss ran all the way back inside the 30-yard line. Looks like his ankle may be bothering him again.
Now once again we have 2 flags on the play, and we'll see exactly what they call here.
There may be a personal foul in here somewhere coming on the Staley side for a face mask or a hands to the face type play. If James Gore continues to keep coming with his helmet off, something's got to be said.
It does look like both fouls are going to be on the offense. Yep. They're going to call holding on the offense, and that's going to be declined. And then an illegal block in the back on the offense. And they're going to go ahead and push that one back from there.
I kind of wish I could just like zone in and watch James Gore every play, see what's going on in there, because yeah, that's twice in the last 5 or 6 plays that he's came out of a scrum with the helmet falling off, way off, about 5 yards down the field.
It's now 1st and 20, ball spotted at the 37-yard line. Makes that 1st and 21, ball at the 37. In motion goes Felton. It's going to be a handoff to Moss. Moss tries to break a tackle, and he's going to be taken down. Johnny Wilson comes up to make the stop at the 39, a gain of 2 yards on first down. He'll now bring up 2nd and 19 from the 39.
Garrison checked in for Darian Neal for Park Hill.
We have not seen Mikey Miles back on the field. That's something to continue to keep an eye on. Parks throws to the flat. He has his intended receiver. And a catch is made over there on the far sideline. The grab made by Shannon Stewart. He's going to get all the way back up to the 47. And he'll bring up 3rd and 11 now after a quick pass and catch from Parks to Stewart. So clock now at 1 minute left here in the third quarter. 3rd and 11. In motion goes Stewart. Parks takes the snap. Going to drop back to pass. He throws over the middle. He finds Robinson. Robinson gets up to the 41-yard line. He pushes ahead. They're going to say he got actually to the 40, and that's going to be enough for a Falcon first down as they move into Trojan territory with 48 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Mikey Miles now just ran back onto the field for Park Hill.
At this point, Park Hill needs all their playmakers out there as they try to keep this game close. Parks going to hand it off to Moss. Moss tries to break a tackle, and he has stood up at the 40 and dropped. In on the stop was Cole Gagne. Also coming in to make the stop was Colby Heinrichsen. So 2-yard gain now brings up 2nd and 8 as the ball will be spotted at the 38-yard line. 10 seconds. We'll see if they'll get off another play before the quarter. Parks holds up the signal. 3 seconds on the game clock. They're trying to get an offsides, and that's going to be the end of the third quarter. With your score, number 4 Staley Falcons lead the number 12 Park Hill Trojans 10-7 here on A10Varsity.com.
Did you know there are tutors available to help boost students' potential and help them shine on college entrance exams? That's right. With College Tutors, students are matched with tutors that fit their unique learning styles and educational needs. Flexible and focused, the College Tutors Learning Center has the resources necessary to improve testing scores. Contact College Tutors for a trained tutor today and excel when it matters most. Call 816-256-5907 or visit collegetutors.com.
Welcome back out to Preston Field. Matt Moon alongside of Nathan Kendall as we get you set for a fourth quarter action here at Park Hill High School, with the Park Hill Trojans currently trailing the Staley Falcons 10-7 in a game that has just been an absolute prize fight. Both teams playing with a lot of emotion here, and for Park Hill, they're trying to play to secure a home playoff game, more than likely, as they are in a bunched up group right now sitting, and they really want to make sure that they hold on to have that home playoff game in the playoffs. But they're playing the defending state champion, the Staley Falcons. Koa Grace tries to break a tackle, and he's hit in the backfield and taken down. Multiple defenders in on the stop. Looks like Wilson and Gore were in there along with Mikey Miles to make it a 3rd and 11 as the ball is spotted at the 42.
This was the same situation they just had on this same drive. They threw that 12-yard pass and picked up a first down. If you're Park Hill, you got to be up in the receivers. Make it impossible for him to make a play.
Shelton goes in motion. Parks drops back to pass. He's going to throw over the middle. An incomplete pass. He had Shelton and threw it low. He was unable to make the grab, and there's a flag on the play. It's going to be a hold, and you have to decline this if you're Coach Hood. Make it 4th down, make them punt to you.
Or you can back them up, make them go for it, go again on 3rd and 21 or so, and then make it even a...
Hayden Wallace is telling him to back it up. We'll see exactly what they call here.
So if they mark it from the 45, it'll put it back to the 45, and it'll be about 3rd and 25 or so.
They are going to go ahead and accept the penalty. So it'll be a replay of third down as they're going to march the ball back to the Falcon 45-yard line. They have to get to the 30 for a first down, and so it will be 3rd and 25 with 11:21 remaining here in the ball game.
So again, a big play here for Park Hill. You force a punt here. Don't let them get any of this back or much of it back. Force a punt.
In motion goes Shelton once again. Parks takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Moss, and Moss is going to be taken down at the 46-yard line. Coming up to make the stop was Seth Garrison, the 6'3 senior linebacker. Stops him for just a yard gain, and out will come the punting unit for the Falcons. Jake Wilson, who's also the strong safety, will come out to punt. Back deep to return is Jalen Knoll. High snap. And a very nice punt. It's going to drive Knoll back to the 10. He's trying to get around the outside. He makes one man miss and then is ripped down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line, but a flag is thrown. We'll see exactly what they call. They might be calling a face mask.
Yeah. Newell came up adjusting his headgear there. Looked like that could be a spot for a personal foul face mask or just a 5-yarder, it looks like.
And so they will get a first down. It will be 1st and 10 for the Trojans once they spot this football. And it will be at their own 15-yard line, trailing by 3 with 10:33 remaining. And Ryan Graves, who has led the team in rushing all year, has really not been able to get anything going on the ground. He hasn't been able to get anything going through the air except for the 41-yard screen pass that set up the touchdown earlier in the first half. Graves takes the snap. Going to roll to his right, gets a nice block, and now he's looking downfield. He's going to lower his shoulder and gets up to the 20-yard line, and a flag comes from the back judge.
He threw that flag about 35 yards in the air.
And now the center is bent over in a crouch position, and you wonder what happened there, if he might have gotten nicked up as well. And there is going to be another penalty. This is going to be on the defense. It is going to be a personal foul on the defense, and they're going to march off an extra 15 yards from the 20. And that will bring up a 1st and 10 at the 35 for the Trojans.
There may be that may have been called for
a late hit on the quarterback.
Like Graves was going, just running, and the dude went in head first. May have been helmet-to-helmet contact, what they were calling.
Two wide receivers split out to the near side. One to the far. It's going to be thrown, and it's going to be tipped. Coming up to tip the pass was Rocco Giglio. The pass was intended for Joe Webb, but Giglio tipped the ball at the line to knock it down to bring up 2nd and 10. Ball at the 35. 10:16 remaining here in the ball game. Number 4 Staley currently leads number 12 Park Hill 10-7. Graves takes the snap. He's going to run it out to the right. He's going to keep it. He drops his shoulder inside past the 40 to the 41-yard line. It's going to be a 6-yard pickup. It's going to bring up 3rd and 4 now for the Trojans. Graves gets his team back on the line. Graves takes the snap. He's going to throw it quickly. He throws it out. He has Peyton Stanfield, who has enough for a first down, up to the 46-yard line. A great hitch route by Stanfield, and a great pass by Graves to put it right on him for the first down. So 1st and 10, ball sitting at the 46 of the Trojans. 9:41 remaining here in the ball game. Trojans trail by 3. Suppus lines up tight to the line. And it's going to be a fake handoff to Bradford. Now Graves is going to keep it. He's going to dive forward. He's going to be close to another Trojan first down. They're going to give him up all the way to the 43 of the Falcons. And that's going to be enough for another Trojan first down. So Ryan Graves finally getting the legs going on this drive as he's leading his team down the field.
Showing a little bit of energy, getting up at the end of that play, hopping up and down, looking like he's feeling good.
Now four wide receiver set. Bradford joins Graves in the backfield. Graves drops back to pass. Bradford with a nice block, a throw down the middle of the field is going to be picked off. Picked off at the 25. A block out in front. Brick has it at the 50. He's at the 40 and is finally going to be driven out of bounds deep into Trojan territory at the 34-yard line. And now there's flag on the play, and we'll see exactly what the flags are going to be. But a great pick by Jacob Brick to come up with that one and return it all the way back to the 33 of the Trojans with 9:01 remaining here in the ball game.
Would not be surprised if we got a penalty going each way here.
And it's really a poor decision on the pass, as it was double coverage down here, down at the 20-yard line where he picked it off.
Well, Graves, in that situation, he had a defender in his lap. He just had to try to get rid of it, or he was going to take a big sack.
Well, the officials are talking it over.
It looked like on that return, even here about midfield, they missed a block in the back. That was pretty blatant.
Coach Hood is yelling at the officials once again. It's going to be dead ball, personal foul on the Trojans, and dead ball, personal foul on Staley. It's going to be negating penalties, and so it'll be 1st and 10 Falcons in Trojan territory, ahead by 3.
Coach Hood, he's been very animated pretty much all night tonight on the sideline. Not real thrilled with some of the officiating. I could see him down here in front of me. Not real happy, as I can completely understand. There's probably more frustration with his boys making these stupid mistakes, picking up dumb penalties.
Parks takes the snap. He's going to run around the right side. He's going to be cut down by Mikey Miles. A flag thrown on the play, as it seems we can't go one play without a flag being thrown. They're going to call it hold on the offense. Mikey Miles upended Dawson Parks, dropped him for a loss, and they're going to push it back even farther with the 10-yard penalty, as the ball will now be spotted at the 45-yard line. So we'll bring up a 1st and 22 now, as on 2 straight possessions, a flag has taken them out of great field position. 2 wide receivers to the near side. Parks standing at the 50. He has Stewart to his right and Moss directly behind Stewart. Parks takes the handoff now. Throw. It's going to be incomplete. Almost picked off. He threw it behind Shelton, and Shelton tipped the ball into the air. Bustamante was right there, but not able to make the grab. And they'll bring up 2nd and 22 from the 45.
And that throw was
and James Gore's coming off the field again with out of helmet.
That throw was forced behind him by the hit by Mikey Miles on the quarterback.
Parks hands it off to Moss. Moss runs right up the middle of the field, and whenever Gore is not in there, they are just running right up the middle. He gets inside the 40 down to the 36-yard line. They'll bring up 3rd and about 15-ish with 8:28 remaining here in the ball game.
Now this week, if I was Parkell, I'd be getting James Gore a new helmet.
At least some straps that will strap it on. In motion now goes Stewart. Parks drops back to pass. Feeling some pressure up the middle. He throws it and has his intended receiver, Robinson, who dives forward to the 20. Then that's enough for a Falcon first down. A great pass from Parks to Robinson. And it's now 1st and 10, ball at the 20-yard line with 8:08 remaining here in the ball game. Falcons lead by 3. Parks barking out the signals. He has Stewart now to his left. Moss lined up directly behind Stewart. Moss now goes in motion. Parks is going to run the football. He gets close to the 15. They're going to mark him at the 16, a gain of 4 yards on first down, and now bring up 2nd and 6. Actually, they're going to mark him down at the 17, so just a 3-yard gain. And now you'll see Staley start to run some more clock here. Six seconds on the play clock. Parks fakes the handoff, now going to roll out to the left. He's going to push forward. He's going to have enough for a first down as he rumbles down to the 10-yard line. Another first down for the Falcons. And now the official is not happy with the side judge as he didn't call first down, and he's now going to call first down. So now it'll be 1st and goal, ball at the 10-yard line. 6:57 remaining. Falcons trying to put the nail in the Trojan coffin here and go up by 2 scores. Two wide receivers to the near side. Now Moss goes in motion. Parks stands all alone in the backfield. He drops back to pass, throws it over the middle. It's incomplete. Intended for Blake Profit. He's unable to make the grab as in on the coverage was Cole Gagne, who has led the team in sacks but has been very quiet here tonight, not getting a lot of pressure, having to cover the tight end a lot. 6:40 remaining here in the ball game. 2nd and goal, ball at the 10-yard line. Again, 2 wide receivers here to the near side. In motion goes Stewart. It's going to be a handoff to Moss. Moss is going to try the middle, and he's going to run right into the end zone. From 10 yards out, it's Jaden Moss, and it's now 16-7, pending the extra point by the Staley Falcons. And it's been all Staley here in the second half with 6:35 remaining here in the ball game. From 10 yards out, Moss scores the touchdown to put him up by 2 scores. Now on to attempt the extra point is Jacob Stewart. To hold is Jake Wilson. The snap is back, the hold is down, the kick is up, and it is through. And just like that, it's now 17-7 Staley. And if you're the Trojans, it's go time now. You're 6:35 remaining. You got to get something going on offense. And we'll be back with what the Trojans are going to do on offense here on A10varsity.com.
Chiefs checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs checking from Community America.
17-7 is our score. 6:35 remaining. The number 4 Staley Falcons lead number 12 Park Hill Trojans as Staley has scored 17 unanswered points here in the second half. And now Stewart running up and down the 40-yard line where he'll eventually tee it up here on the right hash. Back deep to return is Knoll and McCullough. It's going to be a kick straight away. Knoll going to take it at his 15. Knoll gets a block. He gets to the 30. He pushes out at the 31-yard line. A late hit foul is going to be called on Staley. Side judge saw it as Knoll got down to the 32, was stepped out of bounds, and then was shoved right there. Now the officials talking it over once again. We've seen a lot of that today. So it's going to be a personal foul on Staley. And that's going to move it into great field position here for the Trojans, as they should start with the ball at the 47-yard line.
I'd say there's probably going to be a lot of running for these two teams this week for the amount of penalties on both of them and the amount of penalty yardage, to be honest.
So now 1st and 10, ball at the 46. 3 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Bradford stands in the backfield with Graves. Graves takes the snap. He's looking for Webb. He's now going to run to the outside. He throws deep for Webb. Webb trying to make the grab, and incomplete, was unable to make the grab. Great coverage there on the sideline by the Staley defender. That was Landon Donaldson, who was running with Webb and was able to keep him from making that grab. So 2nd and 10, ball at the 46-yard line. 6:23 remaining. Graves telling his offense the call. 3 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Graves drops back to pass. Looking down the field, he now is going to be sacked. He's tripped up. Coming in to make the stop was Nick Wright. He tripped him up. It's going to be a loss of 3 yards back to the 43-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd and 13 with 6:05 remaining. Again, they're in the 3 wide to the far side, 1 to the near. Graves again takes the snap, drops back to pass. Wright coming on they have thrown down to Knoll, and it's going to be thrown out of bounds, too far for him. Great coverage there by Kendrick Stone for the Falcons. And that will bring up 4th down. And Coach Hood's going to go ahead and send his punting unit out on the field. With 5:41 remaining, he's really asking his defense to get some stops here quickly. So 4th and 13 at the 43. 17-7 is our score. Hendrickson gets the ball away and he kicks it out of bounds, and this is going to be a poor punt, as they're going to go ahead and mark it at the Staley 37-yard line. So Hendrickson keeps it from being returned, but instead gives up probably about 12 yards of field position, as the 2 returners were standing at the 20-yard line. One thing you can say about Staley, even though they lost Loa Grace with 1 minute and 22 seconds remaining in the first half, they really have come out with a lot of the same resolve that you saw carry them last year to a state championship. Parks is going to keep it himself. He's to the 40. He cuts inside close to the 45-yard line, up to the 44. A big-time gain there as he picks up 7 yards and brings up 2nd and 3. And programs coming off that state championship, you always have, they have that winning pedigree, and then you always have that next man up philosophy. And in this case, so far, Dawson Parks has really played well for the Falcons. Parks hands it off to Moss. Moss cuts inside and gets inside the 50 to the 46-yard line. It's going to be enough for another Falcons first down as the clock will continue to run once they set the chains. 4:54 and counting. So the Falcons are trying to burn the clock out here on Park Hill Senior Night. If you're Park Hill, you've won 5 straight. And right now, very close to watching that streak end and then have to go on the road to Blue Springs next week. This time it's going to be a handoff to Koa Grace. He's going to go straight ahead, and he is going to be stopped after a short gain on the play. And to make the stop was Hayden Wallace. It's going to be a pickup of 3, though, bring up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I'm so impressed with this Staley offense after losing the starting quarterback, Loa Grace. Dawson Parks has come in and looked pretty good, actually. Been pretty efficient through the air, and of course their running game has gotten going with Jaden Moss. So I'm very impressed with how they look and going into the playoffs here in 2 weeks.
Parks hands it off to Moss. Moss straight ahead, gets up to the 40-yard line. He's ripped down. In on the stop was Wilson and Wallace. But, yeah, as you were talking, getting ready to go into the playoffs here in a couple weeks. Next week, they're on the road at Liberty. And we'll see if Dawson Parks can continue to go. But you have to imagine that with Loa Grace, he was more of a passer. And you have Dawson Parks, who passing is definitely is not his forte. He's more of a runner. And just his running ability has thrown off this Trojan defense just enough to open up some holes. Again, a handoff to Moss. Moss goes straight ahead, and that's going to be enough for another, it's going to be close to another first down. We'll see exactly where they spot it. Looks like they're going to spot him just short. Looks like it's right on the line. I don't know. They're going to go ahead and say that's 4th down, so bring up 4th and inches here. Ball spotted at the 37 and a 4th yard line. Oh, well, I mean, the official is right there. That's all I can say, because this looks like it's a first down. 2:35 remaining, and now they're going to go ahead and call timeout. Staley's going to call their 2nd timeout of the ball game. And you have to think, Staley Falcons, you're going to go for it here. You're up by 10. You just have to get 1 yard. You get that 1 yard, it's ball game.
Oh, yeah, with 2:34 to play, yeah, that would just about do it here for Park Hill. Yeah, they'll probably take their timeouts here down the stretch, but unless they can force a turnover on this carry, that would be the way that they could get back in it. Final score, very intriguing. Lee Summit West 7, Blue Springs 6.
Oh, wow.
In a slugfest down there. Lee Summit comes back and beats Liberty North 34-30. North Kansas City rolls 54-14 to set up a big-time matchup with Raytown, who is currently leading 40-14.
So now they'll spot the ball here. They just got to get 1 yard. Parks takes the snap. He fumbles the football, and his knee came down back here at the 39-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 Trojans as Parks fumbled the football and then put his knee down while he was picking up the ball. And it's 1st and 10 Trojans at their own 39-yard line. They're not dead yet here with 2:31 remaining, but they got to score quick.
Yeah, this is where you need Ryan Graves to hit a big passing play. I mean, they haven't really shown this year that they can throw the ball down the field. And so, I mean, if you're going to do it, probably this point would be the time where you need to hit one of these big plays.
2:31 remaining. 2 wide receivers to the near side, 2 to the far. Graves stands in the shotgun. He takes the snap. Bradford stands back with him, and now Graves going to roll to his right. He's going to throw. He finds Suppis. Suppis picks up as much yardage as he can, then dives out of bounds. He's going to have enough for the first down as he gets into Falcon territory down to the 47-yard line. 2:24 remaining here in the ball game. 17-7 is our score as Park Hill's trying to come back after giving up 17 straight points to the Falcons. Graves looking and does not have anybody open. He's going to now roll. He's going to throw. He again finds his intended receiver. It's going to be Jalen Knoll as he scampers down inside the 25 to the 22-yard line. Graves waited until the very last second, took a little bit of a hit, and was able to hit Knoll for a big-time gain and another first down with 2:09 remaining here in the ball game.
And this is just Ryan Graves just kind of creating for himself, scrambling out and finding the receivers as they're running with him. And a good play there. And this is the situation, Park Hill, you got to start thinking what you do.
It's going to be a handoff straight ahead by Corey Bradford. He's going to get down to the 18-yard line and a gain of 4 yards. But the clock now ticks under 2 minutes. They're going to quickly get down. I think they're trying to catch Staley off guard. Staley quickly gets new players into the ball game. Graves drops back to pass. He's going to throw the fade to Knoll. He makes the grab. Jalen Knoll in the end zone itself for the touchdown. A touchdown from 18 yards out from Graves to Knoll. And now comes the kicking team. With 1:47 remaining here in the ball game, from 28 yards out, you got Graves to Knoll. And now Austin will try the extra point. And now jumping off sides is Staley. As they get them once again on that, the way that they all drop down at the exact same time into the 2-point stance.
This game just got a little bit more interesting here with the impressive catch. First of all.
And the Trojans have all 3 timeouts as well. Snap is back, hold is down. Austin's kick is on its way, and it barely squirts through. But it's now 17-14, our score here. Staley on top with 1:47 remaining. And now a decision for Coach Hood. You're going to need a field goal here. Obviously, you probably attempt the onside kick. You could, though, try to kick it deep since you do have the 3 timeouts, hoping that with their punter punting it to you, that you would still have it where you would need only about 25 yards to drive into field goal range for the tie.
Yeah, but with the you got to keep in mind, this is their first week their kicker's back after being hurt for 3 or 4 weeks. After being roughed on an extra point, I believe, back a few weeks back. So this is where you don't really know what his range probably is at this point. It looks like he's preparing to boot it deep. And just kick it over the heads of all the Staley return men.
And a kick onside is going to be tipped by Staley. The scrum on top of it. Looks like Staley was the only ones who got into the scrum. As jumping on top of it was Jacob Brick. Once again, he has been all over the field tonight. And Jacob Brick jumps on top of it. He got very lucky that Dalton Nugent was right behind him and was able to tip the ball back to about where he was standing.
Yeah, there was nobody there for Park Hill. He kicked the ball just a little bit too hard. If he kicks that a little bit softer, there's a chance that they could have gotten to the ball, maybe get a little air underneath it, something like that. But I mean, now your strength on strength here. This is where your defense needs to stand tall. Like you said, they've got 3 timeouts.
1st and 10, ball at the 43. Moss goes in motion. Here comes the blitz. It's going to be Parks. He's going to go straight ahead. He's going to pick up some yardage up to the 47-yard line. It will be a gain of 4 yards. They'll bring up 2nd and 6 now, but a timeout called by the Trojans with 1:40 remaining. And this game has had it all here. One thing to know, we look out on the field, Mikey Miles, once again, not in. They're going with Carter Gosley, who had the pick earlier in the ball game, is in at that linebacker slash corner spot, a sort of tweener spot. He's into the ball game for Mikey Miles, who has been the playmaker all year. 3 wide receivers spread out to the far side. The tight end lined up here to the near side. It's going to be a quick pass. It's incomplete. Incomplete. They had his tight end wide open. Was not able to get it to Blake Profit, who would have had enough for a first down and might have scored a touchdown on that, as there's a quick slant and he had him for the yardage.
Yeah, I mean, the play call was perfect. You had Park Hill selling out for the run. And if you hit that, yeah, the game's over at that point because Profit probably goes the distance. And now you're in a 3rd and long.
So 3rd and 7. It's going to be a handoff to Moss, and Moss is going to be ripped down by James Gore. James Gore comes up with a big stop in the backfield, and it's 1:34 remaining. A timeout is called by the Trojans, and they'll be getting the ball back with a chance to tie or take the lead here. So they're actually going to say that he got back to the 42-yard line where he's going to be stopped by Gore. So he's back to the original line of scrimmage. So it's just going to be 4th down and 10. But there's no way they risk anything
And
here.
Park Hill has 1 timeout left over.
Because of the incomplete pass.
Yes.
That was the risk that you took when you threw that pass, though. If you connect, obviously, you look like a genius. You probably score another touchdown, and you go home winning by 2 scores. Instead, here you go. You throw the quick pass. It does not work, and now you're wondering to yourself, maybe we should have run it a few more times with Jaden Moss, who did pick up 4 yards on that first carry.
Very intriguing. I would almost expect Park Hill to come after this. Try to set themselves up with some really good field position if they can block the punt. As, of course, the Park Hill fans in front of us are getting into it now, as it seemed all but dead just a few minutes ago.
Anthony Reyes onto the field. A nice high kick here, as Jalen Knoll's going to let it bounce, which is going to allow the clock to run some more. Knoll must have lost it in the lights, as what a great punt there by Jake Wilson. And with 1:22 remaining, Trojans trail by 3. And now they have the ball spotted at their own 12-yard line and have to go 88 yards to win this ball game.
88 yards or a little bit less. I mean, I don't know, like we were talking about before, I don't know how much you trust your kicker, Jackson Austin, coming off of an injury. I'd say you probably want to get it down to where the ball will be spotted at where you can set the ball down at the 30-yard line.
Especially after that last PAT. 2 wide receivers to the near side, to the far. Graves drops back to pass, going to throw it out to the flat. He has Stanfield. It's going to be ripped down. Ripped down quickly is Peyton Stanfield. They're going to get back on the ball quickly. 1 minute, 12 remaining.
If you're Staley, you don't want to pick up any stupid personal fouls either on this.
Now 3 wide receivers to the near side. Bradford stands to the right. Split's coming. Graves going to roll out to his left. He's going to throw. He has Webb. Webb gets his feet in. It's going to be incomplete. They're going to say he did not get a foot in bounds. Coming up to knock him out of bounds once again, who's been all over the field, is Jacob Brick, who came over to knock Webb out of bounds. So it brings up 3rd and 8 at the 14-yard line. 56 seconds remaining. Trojans down by 3, and they got to get at least They got to get at least half the yardage they need before you have to go for 4th and 8 here. Graves takes the snap. Going to throw it quickly to the flat. Has his intended receiver. He gets it up to just to the 18-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 4. And so that will bring up 4th and 4, and that will be the timeout that the Trojans will use here to talk it over with 49 seconds remaining. If you're Coach Hood, you probably wish they would have gotten a little bit farther down the field before you had to use that timeout.
Exactly. You ideally you wanted to be able to hold that timeout in your pocket, to where if you get far enough and you are prepared to kick try a game-tying field goal, but I guess no better time than now. Use it on a 4th down and 4, which this is your ball game. You don't get it, they're going to be able to sit on the ball a couple times, and that's the ball game.
49 seconds remaining. 17-14 is our score. 3 wide receivers are going to split out to the far side. 1 wide receiver to the near side. Graves stands in the shotgun. He has Bradford to his left. Graves takes the snap. He drops back to pass. It's a quick pass to Suppis. Suppis dancing around. He's going to dive forward. He's going to have it up for the first down. He gets up to the 25-yard line with 42 seconds remaining here in the game. Quickly, the Trojans get back on the ball. Trojans need to clock it here. And quickly, Graves does clock it with 40 seconds remaining. So a great job by Davis Suppis, having the wherewithal to know exactly where the first down marker was, because he caught it short of the first down. He turned back upfield and was able to dive forward to get that first down. Two wide receivers in the near side. To the far. Bradford stands to the right of Graves. Graves takes the shotgun snap once again, throws it to Stanfield, and he dives out of bounds. And they're going to stop the clock as he gets up to the 32-yard line. It's going to be a gain of about 6 yards. They'll bring up 3rd and 4 now. 37 seconds left to play in this ball game. Now 3 wide receivers split out to the near side. Stanfield all alone by himself up to the far. Graves drops back to pass. He's going to throw it. He has it to Suppis once again. Suppis is going to dive forward, and it's going to be close to a first down. They're going to say he got up to the 36-yard line. 30 seconds remaining. Graves takes the snap. Trying to find someone. Great coverage. He's going to throw it downfield, and Davis Suppis drops it. He had the ball at the 47 and was unable to make the grab. 22 seconds remaining. He'll bring up 2nd and 10 at the 37-yard line. You have to ask where Javian Gathright has been. He was very big in the first half, especially on that swing pass that he took 41 yards. But Corey Bradford now stands to the right and now switches to the left. 3 wide receivers to the far side. Graves takes the snap. Looking downfield. He's going to run it. He's going to run forward. He gets to the 40. They're holding him up. 13 seconds, 12 seconds. He's got to get his team back on the line. 10 seconds, 9 seconds. They're quickly to the line. 2, 10, and he clocks it real quick. It'll bring up a 4th down with 4 seconds remaining, and this will be the ball game. 17-14 is our score. The ball will be spotted at the 41-yard line. And a timeout's going to be called by Staley. So we'll bring up a 4th and 6. Not that matters because you only have 4 seconds left. So this is the last play unless there is a penalty of some sort. Staley leads 17-14, and man, this game has been exactly as advertised, with the number 12 team and the number 4 team and the 8-10 varsity rankings playing here tonight. And Staley trying to move to 7-1 on the season, as they next week will go and play at Liberty. And Park Hill trying to move to 6-2, trying to keep their winning streak alive as they had won the previous 5 games before they go on the road next week to Blue Springs,
who is coming off a loss now going into next week. They'll be looking for some revenge, will Blue Springs.
The crowd is on their feet here at Preston Field. 3 wide receivers split out to the far side. 1 wide receiver to the near side. Jalen Knoll is the wide receiver to the near side. Graves drops back to pass. He's feeling some pressure. He's now going to roll out to his right. Graves got to get the ball away. He throws it. He gets it to his intended receiver at the 50-yard line, and he's going to be tackled there. Tackled there. Coming up to make the stop was Rocco Giglio, and that is the ball game. Staley holds their defense holds on the last play as the ball was completed to Stanfield, and he had nowhere else to go. And Trojans will lose tonight 17-14 on senior night. And a great battle here in Kansas City. Again, final score, the number 4 team in the city, Staley Falcons, beat the number 12 team in the city, the Park Hill Trojans, 17-14. And Nathan, man, what a game we had here tonight.
I know that it lived up to exactly what everybody was kind of expecting, I think, going in. Thought it'd be one of the best games in the city tonight. And sure enough, it turned into one of the best games in the city tonight. 17-14 Staley. They picked it up there in the second half with 17 second half points and held Park Hill to that 1 touchdown there in the second half.
So great game here tonight. Again, they're going to, the Park Hill Trojans fall to 5-3 on the season. Next week, they go on the road to play Blue Springs, who lost tonight 7-6. And then Staley, last year's state champions, moved to 7-1 on the season, and next week will go on the road to play Liberty to end out the regular season and get set for the playoffs. Again, we thank you for listening to 8-10 Varsity. Final score 17-14 for Nathan Kendall. I'm Matt Moon. We thank you for listening, and thanks for joining us next week, as we'll probably have Park Hill South against Liberty North right here at Preston Field. Thanks for joining us, and good night.